you know, we don't get that much attention and notice about certain things.
We're live on Instagram with Deontay Wilder, man.
Like, oh, it's always a black this and no, it's the facts. Like I just said, the truth hurts at times, and some people just, you know, they don't want to take in something, and that's all we always say. We just want credibility. You know what I'm saying? We want to be honored. We want to be respected. We want to be acknowledged for the great things that we've done, because you always get blasted for, you know, negativity. You know, we can do 100 things right and one fucking thing
negative. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, you get tired of that shit, bro. You get sick and tired of that.
And to piggyback off of that, you're absolutely right, bro. Well said. And this is why, once again, Deontay Wilder, you are our heavyweight champion. When I say our heavyweight champion, anybody in this 2000 era, you guys y'all better not ever forget Deontay Wilder. Y'all want to appreciate him until he's gone. Like LeBron James, like he just said, like LeBron does. You know, such and such is better. That's cool, but don't discredit LeBron. Don't discredit Deontay Wilder. These are greats. And Deontay Wilder, thank you again, King. You use your platform wisely. You ain't out here on a bunch of BS. You are man. We all love you, brother. So that's good. Hey, so D, after you won your medal in 2008, you turned pro. You know, and you made your pro debut in November 23rd, right? I mean November 15th, 2008. Yeah, November 15th, 2008, and you win by second round stoppage. How did you feel in that, like going into that fight? Were you like a little more nervous, or did it feel like another fight for you? You know?
You know what? To be honest, all honesty, I wasn't nervous at all. I've never been in a fight nervous. You know what I'm saying? It's how you grew up. You know, certain people grew up a certain way, and no fear lives here. You know, I think I made a statement one time in the interview. I said, fear do not live here in my heart. I've been through so much. Fear don't live here. You know what I'm saying? I go through so much. But like I said, God, you know, his strongest warriors deal with the strongest battles. And I'm used to it, you know what I'm saying? And shit, so, you know, what was that question again, man?
No, you answered it. You answered it right, bro. You said you weren't. I asked because I wanted to know, and the good people in here, we want to know, you know, are you a little more nervous going into your first pro fight, basically? Your first pro
fight. What's going on? I had a meeting out before then, man. We got on a spiritual level with one of my homeboys. Like, it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And man, it was crazy. So, you know, I speak so different languages, and I ain't talking about the you know, the English language or other type of like go deeper than that. I got certain levels that I get with certain people that if regular people looking in on it, regular human being looking out, it'll go over their heads because of what we talk about. I connect with so many people all over the world on so many different levels. You know what I'm saying? And it's amazing.
That's good. That's right. So basically, I got you, D. You wasn't nervous. Basically, you ain't never scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
I wasn't scared at all. You know, I was fighting on Jermaine Taylor and Corey Spink's card. It was a Jermaine Taylor versus Corey Spink.
Well, that was a good fight.
It was promoted by Lou DiBella.
Yeah.
And we got on that for my debut, and it was an exciting experience. I went to Tennessee, and it was an enjoyable time for me. It was like my debut. This is my debut, and of course, you always want to look good.
Yeah,
you always want to get the knockout to show that you're up and coming, and all that played a big part. I ended up the guy that I was about to fight. I was training for him for like a month, and 3 days prior to the show starting, I got substituted for a different guy. So when day 2 came, we were still trying to get everything together with him coming. He had certain type of issues going on. So day 1, last day, you know, it was a weigh-in. I didn't know who the hell he was. Who we were studying was a different person. He was a orthodox. This guy was a southpaw. Everything about my first opponent was opposite of this guy. This guy had all types of metal and shit in his face and his body. I'm like, who the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? Like the Hellraiser or whatever, man. This motherfucker had all kinds of metal in his face. It was a heavy set and, a southpaw. And I was like, whatever. I'm so excited. This is my debut. They already given me a test within a test. And, I got him out of the second round. And I know that's what I wanted. I wanted a knockout for sure. I didn't know what round it would come in because of the change of my opponent. So I had to learn how to be a chameleon right off bat. I had to learn to adapt to certain situations. Sometimes you may not get the same person you was training for. That's why it's hard for me sometimes to film study, because sometimes that guy is not going to be the same person when you come that night or whatever. Or it may switch up. You know what I'm saying? So you spend all that time studying, trying to, get down the game plan and then it change up. But overall, man, what I'm trying to say overall, I was super excited. I got the second out, and that's where it started for me.
I know. Look, exactly. That's where it started. Exactly. That's where it started, D. And so from there, you go on this. And by the way, I was watching it too. D. I don't know if you know, I was watching the cut because we was with Jacobs. So we was on the cards quite a bit. So I was watching right there. I'm watching everything. Like, okay, I see him. That's D. That's him right there. But D, you go on this historic run after that, and you just dominating and stopping all of your opponents, brother. Right? Like I say, the highest knockout percentage ratio basically in the history of boxing. That's you, Deontay. So you go crazy. You're knocking them all out and stopping them and making this noise, and then you finally get your title shot, January 17th, 2015, against Bermain Stavern, a tough Bermain Stavern, big hard head dude that's knocking people out too. The title shot, and you perform brilliant. A brilliant, beautiful performance. Yeah, you win. You beat him, and you get the WBC heavyweight championship of the belt. Basically, you get your first belt, the WBC belt. How did you feel? Did you feel accomplished after that, brother?
All honesty, it felt good, to be the heavyweight champion of the world. Yeah. But it didn't feel, if someone was missing, you know what I'm saying? I hear you. Someone was missing, you know what I'm saying? With being the heavyweight champion of the world, I guess being that the fact that the landscape of the heavyweight division at that time, it was so dead, bro. And people got to understand, I brought that heavyweight division shit back. It ain't no exciting fighter like myself that when you get in the ring and you want to see somebody get their ass knocked out, you want to see a man body shape or a shot through his head, go down to his feet. Deontay Wilder provides that for you.
Yes, sir.
You want a man that, just like Spuka right there, that almost reached death. Deontay Wilder provides that for you. And I know it's brutal and crucial to say death. Now, we got to understand what sport this is. I don't think people realize what sport this is because they ain't in it. And they probably never get in it, which is a good thing. Let us handle this. We the profession now. But it was, it was just an amazing experience just to get it. And I felt like once I got the title, I feel like my job had just begun, to recreate the heavyweight division, the landscape. We now have a strong heavyweight champion with a strong mind, heart, and soul in it. And I was willing to devote all that to it, to bring it back where it was. You know what I'm saying? Because in the heavyweight division, that's the the division of boxing. That's the life of boxing. If we don't have a strong American champion, man, it kind of, diminish it a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's facts, D. Well said, bro. Well said all the way, D. And like you just said, the heavyweight division has nothing. Shout out to all our fighters. Anybody fighting, anybody get in that ring, they got balls, they're courageous. And now you got guts, a lot of heart. So, but nothing like a heavyweight champion. You guys are the toughest, the big. You can say how great a flyweight is, or a featherweight, or a welterweight, all that, but what are they going to do with a heavyweight? I don't think they're going to do nothing. So,
hey, it's a different world. It's a different world in the heavyweight division. And I'm sure they understand, but they don't understand. They understand from the perspective of where they stand at in the division and how they have to go up against people. But what they don't understand is when you come up in the heavyweight division, you got to watch out so much. Man, you got bigger guys and you're dealing with somebody with power, like such as myself, you got to watch out for that. You know what I'm saying? This in the heavyweight division is really hurt business. You know what I'm saying? And taking much money is as well. And for me, that's the reason why I got in the heavyweight division.
Right.
Money.
Well, you did that. Once again, you did that great. And you're doing that great, bro. You the man, D. All right, it's that simple. So, D, let me ask you, can you give us, the good people, 3 of your personal favorite coldest knockouts that you done?
You know, Alpha Spilka, bro. You know it is the
coldest knockouts.
Alpha Spilka.
You know what I'm saying?
And
the ones that I'm gonna give you the ones that pop out in my mind.
they got the footage on the screen as well.
Mr. Burn 2.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yes, sir.
That was good.
I transformed right there. I had
that was good.
Outer experience.
That was good, Deontay.
With him, it was so crazy. You know what I mean? Mr. Burn. I got Spilka.
Yeah, Alpha Spilka.
Is another one. And the 12th round knockout with
Livage.
I definitely knocked his ass
out.
Yeah,
you killed him.
Yes, sir.
To come back and connect that 2-piece.
Yeah.
It was amazing. That 2-piece and a biscuit, it was amazing. You know what I'm saying? Although I didn't get the credibility, I didn't get what it is, but you know.
Because no one knows who Spilka is.
That was beautiful. I like that. So, all right. So then, D, let me get those are 3 beautiful knockouts. All of, like you said, so many. Anybody watching this, please, after you get off this, go to YouTube and just check out Deontay Wilder, my good people. All right, go check his knockouts out. You'll see. So D, if you you know, is ring walk music or workout music important to you?
Yes, it is. It's very important. You know, workout music. When you're working out, like I said, I go out for the energy. You know what I'm saying, Marcus? I go out for my energy, how I'm feeling, or how I want to feel when I'm working out. I'm a type of person that, you know, I can listen to all types of music. You know, so it don't have to be a specific type. It can be all types. And I can get the groove of it because every beat has some type of tempo, and some may be saying a certain word or maybe saying a certain phrase or a thing that just like, it just, you know, get you with your spirit up and you like, I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? It's just like with that Pastor Troy, it's an old song, vice versa. When this used to come on,
I know.
It was just like, it'd be like that adrenaline rush would come up in me, man. You know what I'm saying? But with training, I'm so different because I can train without no music and I can be all ahead. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
You know, focuses on whatever this is trying to create, you know what I'm saying, out. And then sometimes we like to listen to a lot of reggae. I love R&B and stuff like that. We listen to rap as well. You know, we changed the old school funk. I used to listen to Cool in the Game all the time and stuff. Different little things that give me a tempo and beat what I need, you know. Ring walk and stuff like that is very, very important. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you, D.
What's up, baby?
Not to cut you, I apologize not to cut you off, buddy, but let me ask you, speaking of ring walk, you had some big names walk you out, you know. Who was like, to you, the biggest that you had?
Man, all of them. It's so much put into it, you know, when you meet people. That's why I love meeting people, you know what I'm saying? Not because of what they do, their outer title that they have, because some people just have a title. And but who are you without that title? That's who I want to know. What's that? Who are you without that title? And when I meet people, I want to meet them without the title. I don't want you, I'm such and such. And you know what I'm saying? What's up, my brother? What's up, my sister? You know what I'm saying? What can we, you know, get on some type of conversation, intelligent conversation. Let's see when we open our mouths, sometimes, you know, can tell who a person is, you know what I'm saying, how they thinking or something. Sometimes people be nervous and shit and different things, but I love to meet people without that title because the title can make you feel a certain type of person. And when you go home, that title diminishes because you by yourself. And then that's when you feel, can you live with yourself? Can you look yourself in the eyes?
Hey, D, you speaking nothing but truth, bro, like you always do, all right? That's facts right there, King, because that's how you, like I said, you give off that good energy, bro. Like, and I'm gonna say it for you. This man right here is a multi-millionaire. You understand what I'm saying? This man has made a lot of money sacrificing and putting the hard work in and accomplished some great things, but you would never know that. I'm telling y'all, man. And y'all seeing it firsthand right now. So, D, absolutely right, D. Somebody said Lil' Kim. Yeah, Lil' Kim, that's big too, man. That's huge.
Yeah, shout out to Lil' Kim, man. She, man, like, the Kim, we connect on the spiritual level as well.
Oh, you get along with Lil' Kim?
You know what I'm saying? She's an amazing person. She's amazing at what she thinks and stuff like that. Like, a lot of these people are amazing people. When you really just sit down and connect with them and have a conversation and y'all get on a certain type of language.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. It's crazy. LL is another one of those people, man.
Cool J, hey, that's right.
Out to LL, man.
Bomb squad for life, man.
Talk to him and connect with him, like, it's just like, man, I love you, bro. Like it's just the levels of what we take. It just go over. Like, it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, dude. And he's a GOAT too on the low. You know, he's a GOAT, man. You know. Hey, Deontay, shout out Ellie Syke back in here. And shout out my brother Lamont, L Boogie. He love you. He said you his favorite. Shout out D Smoke. He did his thing. You know. There you go. Hey, look, so D, so look, we almost wrapping up here, but I want to ask you, you fought Tyson Fury 2 times. The first time was it was a draw. Do you feel that you won that fight, or are you okay with the draw? Do you think that was right?
Hands down. I won that fight hands down. You know, so not only with me knocking him out and the ref giving him more time because he felt like it would be the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Because of the type of fight that it was. It was a highly anticipated fight. You know, it had a lot on the line. And, you know, sometimes these referees go out of their character of feeling like, well, I'm gonna do what's best for the sport instead of what's best for you know, what is in the rules of what's going on and stuff like that. You know, it was a lot going on in that fight, but we ain't gonna get into all that. You know what I'm saying?
Why not?
The main focus is, you know,
we need to.
You say you think you won for sure.
I definitely knocked him out. Look how many times you got. My referee at that time, I had Jack Reese, and if you go back and look at any of his fights, you know what I'm saying, he stops a lot of fights early. Sometimes they don't even get up. They waving it off. Okay. When I knocked Fury out, I literally seen it for my own self. That's one of the reasons why I was so surprised too. You know what I'm saying? Not only with the count, but I seen this man's eyes going. You know how you have the good sex and your eyes roll back in your head? That's how his shit was. But I seen the veins popping out his head, and I knew he had a concussion. He was gone. That's a wave off, period. He hollering in here and all whatever you seen. Y'all seen this shit. You know what I'm saying? Go back and look at it. You know,
I got you. Yeah. I got you. No, that's real. I got you. That's real talk. So, a little bit too much precaution, basically. You feel? I got you. Like worrying about you going to your corner maybe more than just saying, "Hey, man, this thing is done." We all saw that. You knocked that man out cold, but he got it. You know, respect. He got up, and that's cool. But it took a little time. But bruh, you did that, D, and you still doing that.
Why you fighting Mark Breland, man?
So D, let's move this along. I'm gonna go with it. If you could, let's get to some fun stuff now, man. If you could share the ring with any fighter from any weight class, any generation, like any era, that's not active right now, though. Who would you want? You know, who would you want to have a mega fight with?
When I'm asked, you know, that question, my mind always go back to Alabama, bro. You know what I'm saying? Okay. With the fighters that came before me, that paved the way before me. All those, most of them had to start their career in other states, but they was born where I was from. I wanted to go up against a guy that was from where I'm from, like the likes of Joe Louis, Evander Holyfield, which is one of my favorites, and the likes of Ernie Shavers. You know what I'm saying? I would love to. Out of those three guys, it's a lot more, you know, that came from this state. But out of those three guys, I would, you know, if not all of them, I would love to share the ring with them. You know what I'm saying? Maybe when they come out with the time travel, I might have to go back in a little bit.
Look at you. I know you will, bro. Hey, you getting better with time, baby. I know you, D. Hey, so D, all right, that's cool. Let's go with all right. How about active fighters, bro? How about active fighters right now? Can you give us 3 guys that you want to fight?
In any division or just my division? I mean, it ain't gonna make sense to go to it, but hey, you know how it is.
That's fun, though. That's fun. That's fun.
You may have to see a motherfucker on the street. You have to go upside the head or something. You know I'm just playing. No, I'm not. You know, without naming the obvious, you know what I mean? People obviously know.
Joshua, bro.
But I would love to fight guys that I haven't fought. You know the ones at the top that I haven't fought, haven't got my hand on. That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I know that's kind of lame a little bit to not name a name, but I'm no. You the one that ain't face that's at the top. I'm talking about you.
I got you, D. That's right. That's right. Like, all right, for instance, I got you, D. Me and my boy in here, I see international Thad. He's a good dude doing this. He has a great podcast, collabing the UK music and the American music, basically. But anyways, he said AJ and Ruiz, you know, Andy Ruiz or AJ, right? You know,
Andy Ruiz will be a good fight.
Any fight that's at the top, and people haven't seen me fight, and people strongly want to see me fight. That's who I want to fight, you know, because I can sit here and name names or
Stanley Joshua.
That's the easy part.
Andy Ruiz.
I'm just gonna go to the top. When you go to the top, and there's some that I ain't fought, that's who I want to fight. I mean, I want to clean the division out. You know what I'm saying? Period.
Who's your trainer, bro? Who's your trainer?
I stopped boxing, which I haven't. You know what I'm saying? I got another life outside of boxing. Thank God. You know what I mean? I don't sit around and boxing is my only income. You know what I'm saying? It's just not gonna happen that way. We done had too many people come before, in front of us that we have fighters that have made a lot of money, and then in the end, they don't have nothing. I don't want to be known to be great, and then when boxing over with, I don't have it to show.
Right.
The purpose a little bit. Like, I was great in my profession, but I don't have shit to show. Nothing, and I can't have that. We don't have too many fighters that live that lifestyle and showed us examples of what that looks like. And I don't think I like the way it looks. You know what I'm saying? Right. I want to be known for something great, for something I did, just like Larry Holmes. You know what I'm saying? Known for not only in the ring being great, but on the outside, you know, taking over as well. And that's what I'm leading to. You know, I always stay quiet because when you're quiet, it's even stronger weapon. When you're quiet, and also I know sometimes it's tough to be quiet at certain times. You know, sometimes we get excited about things. We want to tell somebody some shit, and sometimes that people may come at you. You want to release your energy and just, I don't care. I just want to let them know. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? That's what the discipline part comes in. And like, I focus on me. I got to sit, and the way you focus on you is knowing that, like I said, the truth should set you free. Right. And we all know that accomplishing things, you know, it defeats the haters every time. Prove them. Accomplish something. Create something on your mind and say, I'm going to do it. I ain't going to stop until I complete it, no matter what they say. Because we all know, you know, they'll talk about you today, and then tomorrow when you on top, they'll come back around. They love you. Come on, man. Come on. People, and they just people ride the waves. Yeah, they ride the waves. They ride the waves quite a bit, you know. And that's why we don't let none of these people get into your head, brother, or our heads. And all you good people out here, don't let nobody bring y'all down. You keep doing what y'all doing no matter what. And speaking of that, we got about 4 minutes left, D. Speaking of that, I want to know if you can give the good people out here and a young fighter or just a young person coming up watching this maybe, what type of mindset would you say it takes, you know, for someone to have to achieve the great things that you've achieved? Like, I mean, like we've been.
Who's your trainer?
We've really just been saying it throughout this segment.
Who you fighting next? I mean? That's what people know.
It really take a strong mindset, a disciplined mindset, you know, an intelligent mindset to be able to endure a lot of the stuff that goes on in boxing. You know, boxing is a probably one of the oldest sports, one of the oldest sports around. But you gotta be very confident in this sport. You gotta be able to be aware of your surroundings and who you have around you, because everybody ain't important. You can have people that's been around you for years, you know, and they envy you, and you didn't even know it. You didn't know it at all, and you'd be like, "What did you do?" But because you're great and your mindset is great, you know, envying is a disease that people gather up. You know, somebody can not even know nothing about you but be jealous of you or hate you just because, oh, he think he all that. He think he doing so. No, you think I'm that. You think, you know, I'm going to let my actions speak for itself. So you got to have a strong mindset. You know what I'm saying? You got to be very disciplined. And like I said, you got to believe. Believe it's the power. It's the magic. At least in my world, it's the magic. Believe. And you got to understand, everything is not going to go your way, Mark.
Well, who you fight next? Who's your trainer?
That don't mean that you have failed, because failure is only someone who has given up. And if you've given up,
delusion,
you have failed. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? So long as you have a strong mind, strong will, you know what I'm saying, a strong belief, even if you don't believe in religion or whatever, you believe in yourself. That's enough. You speak that shit, you believe it, and you shall receive it. And with the receiving part, it's a timely manner thing. It's not something just like that. Sometimes things you have you ever prayed for something and it came the next day or within hours of that time, you like, wow. You know what I'm saying? You like, damn. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes you'll pray it don't happen. You're like, man, there ain't no God. You know what I'm saying? You will doubt yourself. See, it's crazy how when we do things, we want immediate reaction. We want an immediate response, and it don't work that way. That's because patience is of a virtue. It's the key to have patience, to believe, to speak, believe, receive. But fine black print is you gotta be patient. Yes, sir. Your time is coming. What's coming for you is for you. Yes, sir. And you gotta believe that. So when it do come, you gotta be ready, because sometimes we can be so busy and our blessing passes right by. It just went by. While we looking at everybody else, like, man, why did you want to hit on someone else because your life is not developing like you want it, or you're maybe not trying enough. But you can't give up. You can't, and that's the biggest thing about it. I tell them most of all, never give up, no matter what, no matter how old. Never give up, man, because you'll never know what you can reach if you continue to go. And always remember, a failure is someone who giving up. That's it. You know, there you go. It's easy to give up in this world, man. I've seen so many people, so many talented people that just giving up. I don't give a fuck. Fuck him. Fuck him. No. Come on, D. No. Come on, D. Come on, D. Hey, D. This is why. No, D. This is why I had it, bro. I want to once again thank you, brother, because once again I see an amen in there from Boxing Bully. Shout out to Boxing Bully, Akin Barak. You know them. They doing their thing over there. But this is why, bro. This is why I felt everyone needs to see Deontay Wilder and understand. I know about it. I love you, bro. You always come with that real talk and good positive energy. And even if somebody takes it the wrong way, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, you know. So if they take it the wrong way, that's on them. You know, you ain't never put no bad, negative BS out there, man. So we still, we still love them. We still love them. Because shout out to Fernando Guerrero. You know, Fernando in here too. Fernando Guerrero. Nice. What's up, baby? Yes, sir. Hey, D, we almost done here, but before they kick us off, we gotta do this again too, man. You know, but D, let's go with Little Marcus. You know, my son. He had this question for you. He got this question for you. He said, "What is your favorite animal and why?" My favorite animal. You know, I was contemplating about shit. About certain animal, you know, because so many different, you know, I love the lion. I love a lion, and a lot of people, you know, you love it's the king of the jungle, but is it really? It's the lion, king of the jungle. there's so many other animals that is more vicious, more poisonous, more dangerous than a lion.
Right.
I know a snake right now that'll bite a lion that is poisonous. I know a spider. I know an ant.
Yeah.
Bite.
A tiger on a low key a tiger. What? You know.
You feel me? But I always love something about lions, their power and how they roar. So when I do it's the vision, me visualizing a roar of a lion. Because if you use dung and you hear a roar, you ever heard a roar? A lion roar? Like it's loud. You're gonna hear it. And you're gonna know it. You may not see it, but you're gonna hear it. And that's what I like so much about a lion, how fearless it is, how powerful it is, and how smart. And they stick together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they stick. So I'm gonna go with the lion. There's so many things that I can say, like a falcon, a phoenix. I love phoenix. Man, that one.
See, there you go. Look, now I got. Look.
Owl is my favorite bird.
Come on, man. All that.
They're so intelligent. And it's like you can't sneak up on the owl because the owl head go 360. You're like, whoop.
Right. Yeah, that's facts.
You know what I'm saying? So, and it's so intelligent and wise. You know what I'm saying? I love all that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of guy that, man, I go out. I got a lot of land and stuff like that, which I utilize. Man, you know what I'm saying? I live on 7 acres, so I built on completely every bit of it.
So you're an animal. It sounds like you're an animal guy. You like animals.
I'm a nature guy. You know what I'm saying?
A nature
guy that be walking in my path, in my little trail walk around my property. I speak to the trees, bro. You know, them shit's alive. You know what I'm saying? Speak to the trees. I speak to the birds. I speak to the universe. All this shit is well alive. I mean, we're giving up 28% of oxygen. We're sharing it with them.
Okay.
So how can it not be? You know what I'm saying? I always tell the trees, I like, damn, I wish I had your eyes. I wish I could see what you have seen out of all these years. Man, imagine what knowledge that we may have. And if you apply knowledge to life, that's how you become wise. Because you can be an old fool too.
Come on, D.
Ain't wisdom. It's not.
Come on, D. Come on, baby. It's not.
You must apply that knowledge to life to become wise, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, man.
Come on, D. Come on. Give it to us, baby. I know, man. Like I said, I wish we had more time. Because, see, this right here is just a testament to your greatness, brother. Like, everything you're doing, like I said, you my heavyweight. You are heavyweight. You my favorite heavyweight. And, you use your platform wisely. And you one of the best boxers to ever do it, period. But definitely in the 21st century and the 20th century. 21st century. So, yeah, they want to say thank you, bro. Now, at the end, we play a song. Can you give us, the good people, one of your favorite songs?
We ain't going to play shit.
Oh, man. First off, about music and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I love Bama and stuff like that. So,
this is your best song.
Shout out to my guys.
That's your best song, man. To this day, man.
We've had a couple of guys from Bama, like Rich Boy, Dope Boy, Rich Boy.
Come on, man. To this day.
Man,
that's your best song.
General. So,
okay.
Another guy named Sean 1K. Shout out to Sean. He made a video of the fight, the second fight. It's a crazy song,
Asking why he fired breathing.
Guys, man.
But not JD's. Is this a
it's
nice
an
interview?
Song that I always listen to. That we always talk about that give you that energy.
You don't want to answer the questions, bro. I'm there typing it. He's avoiding the question. Who's his trainer? Why you ain't fired JD's? Why you lying about Kenny Bayless?
Why ain't El Chopper walk him down?
NLE Chopper. Yeah, NLE Chopper. I got you.
Why would be lying?
NLE Chopper.
Why in El Chopper?
No, NLE. I think it's NLE Chopper.
Oh damn. You right.
It's all good. Let me see.
So what are you up, man?
You trying to find it?
No, we ain't gonna do
that. Let me
that.
find it for you real quick.
Everybody got so many
We ain't gonna do that.
YN.
Remember that song come back? We ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do those songs with Wilder, boy.
All that, yeah. Let's see.
I'm like, shit.
Let me see it go.
Hey, let me know. Give me a thumbs up and let me know if you can hear this.
Nah.
This is right here?
Nah, we ain't playing that. We ain't playing that. Nah, we ain't playing that. I'm gonna play something else though. I'm gonna play something else. Wilder out here bugging, bro. I think they out here to just cool Wilder down because he's out here crazy. I think Al Heyman sent the Watson brothers into cool Wilder bitch ass down. But he ain't asking the questions though. He ain't giving the questions that we want. Wilder be ducking. Yeah, let's have a look at Fury. People say Fury is fat. Now have a look at it. He look fat.
All right, that was good. There you go. Good, George, good. Good, George. Oh, last one. Come on, suck it up. Come on, suck it up. One more, even. There you go, George. Now we're talking. Oh, yeah. Keep it out there, George. Yeah, oh, it pushed you back at the last one. That's what I was talking about. Let's go, Big George. There you go.
Everything, Deontay, that you've done for us as people, man, especially Black people. This Black History Month, you know, I don't believe in just a month, but thank you for the, so, you know how I go. Once again, every single thing that you've done for us, King. You know, I appreciate you. We all appreciate you. I'm trying to get this off.
Man, girl, this girl crazy. Oh, you done heard my song, and she done heard my song, so she want to present something.
Wilder's got a gun, man.
Look at shit to you.
Yeah, Wilder's got, whoa, y'all Wilder's got a gun on the live, man. Y'all Wilder's got a gun, man. Wilder brought the automatic out, man.
Why we talking about, you know, I'm a gun collector, B.
See?
I mean, Marcus, I'm a gun collector, so
you got the guns, man.
Me and Chris, my bodyguard, my sister, you know, he was on the force, so he was on SWAT. You know what I'm saying? So we click in that area too. So I'm a type of, I got an underground gun range. You know what I'm saying, at my house. So that's how involved I am. Cleaning guns, shooting them, going to the range and shit like that. So you know, I want people to understand. You know, because they misunderstand me all the time. They see a black man with an AK-47. You know what I'm saying? Up in there,
scared.
Oh, you know, this is what I do all day long. You know what I'm saying? I got a great relationship with people in the gun business. And we chop it down. We do a lot of. It's fascinating to have a piece of art and to be able to know how to use it. You know what I'm saying? To know the real scientific of a piece of machine. You know what I'm saying? And not really just use it for the warfare of killing people or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That is not the intent. You know that I have when I have my weapons in my hand. Like, these are my babies, and you know, we're breaking it down to the little small. You know, define, you know, everything that's up beside it. So, but yeah, she wild for that one. That's my baby.
Who's your trainer, dog?
Nah, that's perfect though, because that's what it's about, bro. Like, not like that, but protect yours, man. Protect yours, D, and live your life. That's how it's supposed to be. It's legal, ain't it? It's legal. So.
Most definitely, everything we have legal. That's for sure. We gotta be legit about everything. That's what life, man. I always tell people, if you're gonna do something, be legit with it. You know what I'm saying? Be legit. That way you ain't gotta worry about that's what you or nothing like that. You do what you love. And this world is all about you doing what you love. And I believe in happiness. The ultimate key to happiness is peace for me. I get a lot of peace, and it brings a lot of happiness to me. So I'm never down, I'm never depressed, I'm never stressed out. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm too blessed to be stressed, and I got a beautiful ass mama. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I agree 100%. Hey, D, so my speaker not working, D. I'm going to leave you with this, man, and you right on with that, dude. Spot on, man. Shout out to your whole family, D. And make sure everybody, you know, all you good people out there, make sure y'all get y'all choppers too, man. Make sure you protect. Hey, we do it the right way. do it the right way. That's all. Hey, look, D, tell me if you can hear this, because this is my joint, man, that I'm going to leave you with.
Nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that, boy. We ain't trying to listen to Wilder and no music, Marcus. Now you got his thumbs up. That's his own dudes. That man there, Al Heyman, listens to music and stuff like that. We ain't trying to hear that. So they can stay there bopping their head and everything. Wilder ain't asking no questions about who his trainer is, when he's gonna fight next, who he's gonna fight next. Why you blame Braylon and you didn't blame JD's? Why you blame Kenny Bayless? Say he was drunk. Wilder out here deflecting. You know what I mean? He be getting it in the comment section though. He's getting in the comment section, but he be bugging. I think he's out there. He got big ass Wilder be out here talking to trees, man. That's something we didn't know. He got gun range, talking to trees. I'm gonna put the link in the chat like in a bit. Yo, you guys can jump in. October. What's going on, October Red? If you don't know October Red, make sure you go sub. Make sure it's a must. You go and sub to October Red right now for all your top interviews. Make sure you go sub to her. I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and then you come over, man.
And I love you, man. And I'll talk to you soon. I appreciate it, brother.
Likewise, brother, man. I love you so much, man. I love your family, and I'm wishing nothing but many, many blessings. You guys, you already know, man, how we get and what level we're on. So till next time, whenever you need me, bro, holler at me. You know.
I love Dave. Have a good night, King.
Tell everybody 15 blessings. I'll talk to you later. Peace. Bomb squad.
Go. All right.
That's Wilder, man. I was Marcus Watson from the Watson brothers. They work with Al Heyman. There's a link, man. Y'all want to jump in? Jump in. There's a link. They want to jump in and chop it up. You're welcome. I'm going to stay here for a bit, man. Wilder's crazy, man. In the meantime, let's look at Tyson Fury. I think I showed a clip of it. Tyson Fury and George Fox, the next prospect. George the Future Fox hitting the heavy bag. Yo, check him out. They say Tyson's fat. I say to you, his legs are still good. What do you think? Have a look.
There you go. Good, George, good. Good, George. Oh, last one. Come on, suck it up. Come on, suck it up. One more, even. There you go, George. Now we're talking. Oh, yeah. Keep it out there, George. Yeah, it pushed you back at the last one. That's what I was talking about. Let's go, Big George. There you go.
Yo, so the link's in the chat. I'll wait a couple of minutes. If no one comes over, I will end the broadcast. But Tyson, there's nothing really come out of that Instagram live. Oh, here we go. We got trouble here. Introducing from up north, my man John Dealey. John Dealey, wake up. What your debut on EJ Boxing Live? What's going on, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, EJ. How are you?
I'm all right. For what you heard, or anything you heard, you're impressed or anything, and that you just feel like what you feel from what you heard.
Wilder's not in touch with reality, and I think that's been the case for a long time. It's cool. I mean, if you want to get better at something, you have to be honest with yourself, and I think that's why we haven't seen any improvements from Wilder. So, if anything, he's got worse in the bum than when he fought against Deverne the first time. Because at least against Deverne we saw a jab, whereas Wilder's just been leaving all this gas. And he wants to surround himself with more and more gas. He doesn't want to hear anything about the truth at all.
Yeah. He doesn't sound like, I mean, he's just like he's enjoying his land, enjoying his property, talking to the trees and just being cool, man. Hey, bro. Hey, we laughing, you know. Hey, listen, we're in the Corona era. I wish I had acres like him. But let's be real. I wish I had acres and land like him to build. Like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. And he's got a gun range. I like he got his frustration. He can go shoot. Listen, bro. He invested his money wisely.
If you're gonna be objective about his situation, Wilder is set for life. He is set for life.
Yeah, that's it.
I just don't need to hear all this nonsense that he is chatting because it's ridiculous. He sat there and the interviewer said, "You're one of the best to ever lace your gloves up," and he's busy comparing himself to Evander Holyfield and Joe Louis.
No, I think they were asking which guys would.
Yeah, I know, but he can tell the reason he's picked them is twofold. Okay, they're all from Alabama. That's all true.
Yeah.
But still, the vibe of that, he sees himself that he could get in the ring with those people.
He's a fighter.
Can you imagine the reality of him fighting Joe Louis on the Holyfield?
Oh, hey, listen, it wouldn't be nice, I'll tell you that. But you know what? I'd watch it because people think he's going to get knocked out. And we got introducing, making his debut. TBE Boxing, my guy. Me and him go backwards and forwards. If you haven't subbed to his channel, make sure you go and sub to his channel. Welcome, my friend. Welcome.
What's up, EJ? Thanks for the welcome and the shout out.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome. You got John Dilly there. Hey, my man, listen, John Dilly, my man hates Wilder more than you, so we're gonna get into
No. Don't say that. I don't hate anybody, bro. I'm just talk boxing, so I don't know Wilder. How can I hate him?
I don't hate Wilder, EJ. When Wilder was first getting promoted by Sky in 2015, I was hoping that he was going to take out the Klitschko's because I'd had enough.
Yeah, so did I.
Wilder let me down. Wilder let me down.
All right, I retract the statement saying that you guys hate him. So let's say you guys are critical of him. All right, TBE, go ahead. TBE, go ahead. Give us your take on what you heard. And
Well, what's the topic? Because I just saw your channel and just decided to jump in and see what's going on.
Oh, well, Wilder was just on Instagram live with Marcus Watson, and he's talking to the trees on his property, and he's got a gun range, and he was just talking a bit about his career. So, you know, I feel like we should do a live on it because what we've heard and that.
So, what did he actually say? I mean, give me a quick synopsis. What did he say?
Dealey, where's Dealey at? John Dealey. Okay, he's leaving it to me. Go ahead, John Dealey.
I can recap it. It was gas talk. It was gas talk. The most ridiculous thing I heard on there was Wilder talking about Wilder being told he's one of the best to ever do it in the 21st century. Like, best at what?
Wilder said that?
No, but the interviewer is just sitting there gassing him. And what Mark Breland said in his interview, that I only wants to be surrounded by yes men. That's what's happening now. He's in the media. It's just pure gas.
I'm going to look at that Instagram thing. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, like when EJ said I hate Wilder, I hate his boxing. Okay, let's put it to you like that. I don't hate him personally. I don't know him, so I can't hate him. But I don't like his boxing style. I don't think he's a boxer per se. I think he's a guy who depends on one punch. You know, and that's a disrespect to boxing. I would think. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, if you just depend on one punch and you out there drinking the Kool-Aid, thinking that your that right hand is the right hand of God, like people keep telling him, and so he's out there, you know, riding with that and you know, believing all of that, then what we saw happen to him was inevitable. Okay, it's gonna happen. You're gonna run into a guy that you can't bully, a guy that you can't hit him with the right hand, and he's just going to drop and collapse in front of you. And when you do that, what are you going to do? You don't have any backup plan. You don't have any plan B. What's going to be your next option? And as we saw, he had no other option. He basically, you know, got taken down by Fury. And, I think Fury basically dismantled him, okay? Not just physically, but mentally. Because the beating that he got in the ring, was him getting dismantled physically, And the excuses that you see him making now was him getting dismantled mentally. Okay, so you're seeing Deontay Wilder, deteriorating physically and mentally after his first loss, and that's what happened to fighters, of that caliber who, delusionally depend on, the so-called, you only have one weapon, so to speak, basically a one-handed fighter, because as far as I'm concerned, if a fighter, doesn't use his jab effectively, even if he has other punches, he's just a one-handed fighter. And not only doesn't Deontay Wilder don't use his jab, which he could have a good jab if he decides to use one, if you would listen to Mark Breland, but he just doesn't use anything else but the right hand. I mean, he's even worse than the guy that doesn't even use a jab. So, at some point in his career, he was bound to, meet up on somebody like Fury. And as we saw, the first time he fought an elite fighter in Fury, we saw the result of it. And that was inevitable as far as I'm concerned. And it was bound to happen. And so it happened. And now, we see what the result of it is. The rest of it is history. So, if he's out there saying that, he's comparing himself to Holy, I mean, if anybody that would even compare Wilder to a guy like Holyfield, okay, a guy who moved up from 175 pounds, and in his first heavyweight fight against James Quick Tillis, he knocked him out, okay. And James Quick Tillis was no, walk in the park by any means. He went the distance with Tyson, with Mike Tyson. So, to say that, he gave Mike Tyson a tough fight. So, and Holyfield moved up from 175 pounds and knocked him out. So, I mean, at the end of the day, to compare yourself to a guy like, I'm not even going to say a guy, we're talking about a legend, a living legend like Evander Holyfield is delusional, to say the least.
Well, John D didn't tell you the whole story, so I will fill the gap in. What he actually said is that Marcus Watson asked him, which fighter would you like to fight in history? He said he'd like to fight Evander Holyfield. What else did it was another guy as well, actually. I forgot. There was 3 fighters. So that's what he really said. And they said, what you be doing, champ? And he said, he's got acres of land. Because he brought actually gun on the live machine gun. And he goes, that's what he does, like to relax, shoots and stuff. Like he's got a gun range on his ranch, you know what I mean? And he likes talking to the trees. He likes nature. He said he's got acres of land. He was just basically recapping his amateur career and when he beat Stavern. He wasn't saying nothing negative. I was in the chat, like I was like, yo, bro, like when you gonna talk to me, who you gonna fight? Who you gonna fight next? Who's your trainer? Why you sack Mark Breland? Why you blame Kenny Bayless about say he drunk? None of that was addressed. You know what I'm saying? So you're right about delusion. You know what I mean? Maybe a lot of fighters make excuses when they lose, and he's not thinking. So I don't know what Wilder's doing. What is that? I don't know. I'm not too sure. I think it is what came on there just to show that Wilder's normal. He ain't crazy. Maybe that's what it was.
And it just proved the opposite. I mean, at the end of the day.
What's wrong with talking to the trees, though, when we're in a Corona era? What, you don't, what? You're American.
Yeah, but EJ. Yeah. EJ, sanity means that you're in touch. You're in touch with reality. And it ain't the talking to the trees that's showing the hard, as he say. He's sat there talking about how he beat Tyson Fury. And how it was a long count. It's like, no, you go off what the referee said. It was a...
Go ahead. Let me play some of it. I think I got some of it though. Let me play some of it in Instagram live. Let me see what I got here.
Negativity at you, emotional garbage, and then you taking it in, you being a garbage man, and you receiving that shit and not taking the trash out. That shit comes on you, bro. That's negativity, that evil spirit come over. But for me, I'm so used to it. Like it's not a botherness to me. I have loving family. My mindset is so huge. I tell people that a spaceship can fit in it. So there's no botherness to me with anything that I go through. It's a blessing, bro. I look at it as a blessing. And I just thank God to be able to have the mindset that I have, to be able to rule and lead so many different men and women, you know, young and old, even children. You know what I mean? It's a blessing. Regardless.
Did he say rule and lead so many men?
That's what he said.
And you know, I know, man.
That's what he
said.
said.
A lot of love around you, baby boy. You got a lot of love around you, and because the reason why you have a lot of love is because you share that energy. You know, anybody that know you for real, they know what kind of energy you got. You share that love energy always, man. So respect you, D. But D, check this out. You had siblings. You got a brother, Marcellus, man. Marcellus, right? So Marcellus
got knocked out.
He's a professional boxer too. Shout out to Marcellus Wilder. But the man can sing for sure.
Yeah, he can sing when he got knocked out.
Firsthand.
Shit, I don't
sing,
a soprano.
Let me ask you,
soprano.
You sing too?
You know, man, we talented in a lot of different areas. You know what I'm saying? And this, I don't think there's no, you know, no time for. But let me see. I'm just putting it like that. We got a lot of stuff going on. Like overall, you know, we don't brag about too much. We don't boast about too much. But my brother's very talented. My whole family's very talented. My brother's talented. I'm talented. I got some cousins. They're very talented. You know,
you ain't saying what they're talented out, like what though, isn't it? Talking shit. That's what they're talented
around so many talented people, you know, with such a strong mindset. You know what I'm saying? Because what the world see and what we see behind closed doors, you know what I'm saying, is almost similar but different. You know, the only thing what the world see is only what they want to take in. You know, a lot of people don't want to take in what they really see. They want to, you know, imagine whatever they see or whatever they comprehend that come from a situation or whatever, which is fine. You know, everybody.
Sound like he's talking about himself.
Have their own
he is talking about himself.
Thinking. But when I'm around these people and stuff like that, man, it's you know, it just lets you know that life is so good, and it's just amazing to be around so many great people with a mindset of
like JD's.
Be great at what I do. So that's what I sit around the bed of people and always think about what I need to do, how I need to invest this, how I can get my business up and running, how I can keep money flowing, how I can, you know, get a business where
keep lying.
I got something else I can sleep at night making money and stuff. That's all. It's crazy.
Marcellus can sing. Talking Wilder when they get their ass kicked.
Talent amongst the family, amongst my friends, and everything. So man, I'm blessed, bro.
No, I already know. I see Telly in there. Shout out, like I say, shout out to Telly Swift. You know, she said you could carry it. Yeah,
go ahead. You want to say something?
Yeah, so he didn't say anything about boxing. I mean, about fighting.
Bro, that's what everyone's. I mean, listen, bro. I'm like, you know, Wilder's talking, so the champ's talking, so you have to kind of take little bit. I mean, this is the first time I heard this bit because I replayed it. But yeah, he's kind of like shooting. He's what do you call it? He's whistling in the breeze or whatever you guys call it. I don't know what you guys call it. Like, he ain't really getting direct about anything directly, but I guess I think he's there just to address the probably negative energy and talk to the people other than boxing. And he started talking about his career, amateur career and professional career, his achievements, which is his best knockout. They are what Marcus Watts was asking him, but other than that, I mean, it's what it is.
So I mean,
hold on, DJ. What did he say his best knockout was?
Oh, of course, you know it is. You know what that is. Arthur Spilker, boy. Shit, and then he said,
but I got knocked out by Brian Jennings that can't punch.
Yeah, but that was a wicked knockdown.
I knocked out by Brian Jennings first.
That was a good knockdown, though. He couldn't even kill that guy on TV. That was a good knockdown, though. Rare, and at Lakovic as well. But he says Bermain Savant, the second fight. That's what he said.
So it's legitimate. It's a legitimate question to ask if will Wilder really ever fight again? I mean, did Tyson Fury end his career? And at this point, I think that that's a legitimate question. And I mean,
he addressed it. I think he addressed it on the live. I think he's gonna fight again, but he didn't say when, no date, who's training him. You know what I'm saying? That's I think he addressed it. His greatest achievements and he's the Watson's there. He's obviously gonna fight again. I don't know who he's gonna fight. They're talking about Charles Martin. That Charles Martin fight, by the way, should have happened when Charles Martin was the IBF champion. They should have done that right there.
Hold on a minute, EJ. The rumor is he's out of the Charles Martin fight because they wouldn't pay him.
I know.
It's a rumor.
I know that exactly. They let that
The
go.
The rumor is that he paid 10 mil to fight Charles Martin.
They gave Charles Martin what he wanted. Even what he wanted, you know. End of the day, you would have when you have the monopoly of the division, as you can see, you make a lot of money. You know.
Well, he better be careful about.
Run that by me again. I don't understand that, EJ.
I'm saying whoever has the heavyweight division can dominate the money. You can monopolize the division. If you got like 3 belts at that point, and then Joseph Parker was the last guy out, right? If you've got like 3 of the belts, say who would have 2 of the belts? That's right, because the WBC, IBF, right? You would have half share of the division, yeah, and then you can start dictating in terms and start getting, because you know the heavyweight division.
No. That's not what I'm saying. Wilder's saying he wanted 10 million to fight Charles Martin for now.
Oh,
for the fight they're talking about arranging.
Wilder wanted 10 million to fight. What?
Yeah. Yes.
He's mad, bro.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like Joshua did what you said. He overpaid Charles Martin to get the belt because he saw what it was worth.
Charles only got 5 though. He got 5 million. Yeah, he got 5 million. He didn't get.
Well, he paid him, is what I'm saying. You paid him.
Yeah. But Eddie Hearn paid. Yeah, at least they paid up in front. They paid up. It was worth it. It was worth the gamble.
He better be careful about fighting Charles Martin though, because Charles Martin said that he was going to aim for that dent in Wilder's head. So yeah, that's what he said.
Yo. Let me call Charles Martin. I could call Charles.
Well, the other thing is, whenever Wilder fights a southpaw, they touch him, and Charles Martin can punch.
Yeah, let me see if I can call Charles Martin.
I know in the UK, most people just look at what AJ did to Wilder, to Charles Martin, but he's not that bad a fighter.
Let me see
he's not a joke. He's not a pushover.
Let me see if I can get Charles Martin on the phone here, right? Because I got him here. He ain't picking up. I'll be ringing him big time. He don't be picking up. He be ducking me. He be ducking me. JD's be ducking me as well. You know what I mean? He ain't be saying that. JD's, he wished me, by the way, it's my birthday today. He wished me a happy birthday last year, JD's. Well, I don't know why he ain't wishing me this year. It's early. My birthday today. Let me see if I can find Charles Martin. Charles, where are you, you rat?
Wait, you're 21 again. You're 21 again, EJ.
Oh, it's all right, you know. Being 21 again is not a bad look, you know. No, let me see. No, let me see if I can find this Charles Martin, man. I ain't talked to him for a minute, but look, you're right. Eddie Hearn, they put their hands in their pocket and they gambled, and it was worth it. It was worth it, you know. It was a good gamble that Matchroom did, and they've been on top of the world. How long Joshua had the belts for now? It's had it for a bit, though, isn't it? That is for 4 years? Is it? How many?
Well, I mean,
he got it in 2014, didn't it?
Oh, was it 2016? Is it 15 or 16?
When was Charles Martin fight?
16, wasn't it? 2016?
That's a long time. He's had the belts for 4 years. It's good though. 4 or 5 years, isn't it?
Yeah, but Deontay Wilder had his belt since what, 2014? So at the end of the day,
2013, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. He had a chance to fight Klitschko. He never did because he claimed, Shelley Finkel's manager claimed that, at the time that he was just a baby with 44 fights, 30-something fights, 38, 39 fights, something like that. They claimed he was just a baby.
Well, that's Vlad. That's Vlad, though. Why didn't he fight Vitaly? Vitaly retired in 2013. Wilder turned pro in 2009. Why didn't he fight Vitaly?
Well, he was a sparring partner for Vladimir Klitschko, and he could have fought Klitschko as also, but like I said, they turned that fight down because Shelley Finkel said that Wilder was just a baby.
No.
And he wasn't ready for that fight. So it wasn't until Joshua came out.
My point is, he was also active when Vitaly was the champion, and he was walking around with Vitaly's belt.
He wasn't trying to fight anybody. I mean, that's just the bottom line. He wasn't.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like they want to talk about his legacy and stuff, but how many active champions has he beaten? And it's Bermain Stavern who won his title from a box off against Ariola.
Yeah, so I mean, he doesn't have much of a
legacy.
He doesn't have much of a legacy to speak of, really.
Oh, man, you guys are terrible. You guys are. Let me call Charles Martin wrong. You guys are. You need to stop that.
No, it's true. I mean,
EJ, I'm just telling the truth.
The man knocked
how many active champions?
I don't care about that stuff. I don't care about that stuff. I don't care. When I great this,
all right. Your boy Spilker.
Hold up, John Daly. Hold up.
I'll
tell you why. All I care about when Wilder fights, yeah, regardless of belt, whatever, I like people whooping ass, and that's what he does. He provides entertainment.
Well, you can go to WWE. You can go to WWE to entertain.
Yeah, I enjoy that. Hey, I enjoy. That's why I enjoy it.
Let me call Charles Martin. You'll knock them out.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I don't care about that stuff. I don't care about.
They get knocked out.
That's for hardcore stuff, man. I don't care about that shit. Like knocking out, dude. That's what I like.
Go to WWE. There's a lot of entertainment in WWE.
I don't need to. Why don't go there? Why don't give me my WWE?
Yeah, you're right.
EJ, I'm not even taking you seriously now.
I'm serious, man.
EJ, you're not serious. I know that's not you. I know you're joking.
Oh, look, I'm calling Charles Martin now, and wherever he picks up, every time I call Charles Martin, he never picks up. And the thing is, yeah, I was like, when he came to London, yeah, I was like, yo, what's up, champ? This, that, the other. He was cool, man. But you know what I'm saying? You know how it goes, bruh. You know, when people freaking get lost, yeah. Remember, he went mad a bit. Do you remember when he lost the belt? And they said he got in trouble with the law. He went crazy for a bit, don't it?
The man.
Yeah,
yes, a shot.
Yeah. He got shot. He had some mental issues, you know what I'm saying? He did. He really did. And that's what I'm trying to say to you. Like, I don't really and truly look. I'll be honest with you. I'm a fan of boxing, yeah. When I watch sit back and when Wilder's career's over, I sit back and watch some of the most devastating knockouts I've seen. Now, they weren't Hall of Famers and none of that, but bruh, it was entertaining. Seriously. Got EJ, yeah, is seriously.
Yeah, but EJ, they're not even all that. You go back and watch his highlight reel. The amount of guys that get stuck on their feet, he's knocking out. He's the lightest weight class that he's fought. He's fought like light heavyweights and cruiserweights. I'm going to put a lot of the blame for that. I'm going to put a lot of the blame for that on Golden Boy. And I don't think Golden Boy get enough stick for the matchmaking that they did for Deontay Wilder. If you go back and you look at the list of people, Luis Ortiz knocked out.
When it comes to fighting at this point, right? Because we do social media, we do our research. I don't even know box records around them times there. We can critique all these things there. That's what we do. But as a fan, when I watch the box, I didn't care about it. I said this guy was knocking guys out. He didn't got no Hall of Famer names, but then he fought Fury and he knocked Fury. Every man he's ever faced, he's put them in the dirt, bro. Except for the last Fury fight, right? And that's it. Wilder, either he gets put down or they knock him down, and that's what it is. The man's entertaining. He's exciting. Now wait, and his career's not over yet, so it's unwritten. Like, but you couldn't you want to question his legacy and say he this, that, the other. You be it, so be it. But for
it's not just that though.
I don't have to question his legacy. His own trainer questions his legacy. Okay, at the end of the day,
you know what?
EJ.
Yeah, go on. I'm listening.
EJ, I'm going to take this away from Wilder for a second. When you had Spencer on after Joe Joyce knocked out Daniel Dubois finished on his knee, however you want to put it, yeah?
Yeah.
What was Spencer's whole point about that situation? That he was being matched too softly and getting gassed up, and that's why he didn't develop the skills to do better. And it's not good for fighters to be getting soft touches all the time.
But he wasn't going nowhere.
They don't need better.
Hold on. But Wilder knocked down Fury, bro. Like, no, who's knocked down Fury multiple times in the thing? I probably like what's his name, that heavyweight, John Dermott. But no one's ever did that to Fury, right? But what I'm saying is that's not the same. The Daniel Dubois was hyped. It's a hyped up job. It was a hype job, yeah. He didn't really do that. What's up, bro?
So is Wilder. That's my point.
You trying to say Daniel Dubois and Deontay Wilder the same people? Is that what you're saying? You're funny, you know. Is that what you're saying?
Right. I'm not saying
Dubois could probably beat Wilder.
No, I'll tell you what I'm saying.
Hey, it's crazy. Yeah. I'll
tell you what I'm saying.
Guys, I'll drop the link. Hold on, I'll drop the link. You guys can drop it.
I'm telling you what I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead.
Right. What I'm saying is, the process is the same. If you're gonna give somebody 2 minute easy fight, yeah, and you're not gonna develop their skills and bring them along properly, as soon as they fight some resistance. As soon as they come up against resistance, they're not going to know what to do, and they fail. And let's be honest, right? Who are Deontay Wilder's record? Yeah, are you going to say that Daniel Dubois couldn't actually beat?
What? I don't think he beat Stavern. Then when Stavern was a champion, I don't think he'd have beat him.
Why not? Why?
Nah,
when he was a champion. Okay.
Yeah, when he was a champion.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, but every time Daniel's had the reach advantage.
Nah, he was. Daniel was the reach advantage. Yeah, but hold on. You asked the question. Yo, you asked the question. But what I'm saying is that what I'm saying to you is this, yeah. This is the first time I've ever heard it. Daniel Dubois and Thingy. You're right about the development, but the thing is, he done well in the first fight. Like, no, most people said Fury won the fight in the first fight, but he did well, man. You know what I'm saying? He almost, if the referee would have counted Fury out, then we're having a different conversation, but we didn't. Fury got up like the Undertaker, and we're having a different conversation. And Wilder underestimated him, and he's wearing this big bloody suit, and he's got this and he's got that, and he got it. Now see what Wilder can do on his comeback, but in his legacy, it's unwritten. It's unwritten right now. All we know is he's talking to the trees right now. He's at peace. You know what I mean? He's got his gun range. He's shooting. And he's just kicking back on the Corona special right now. What's up, Brotherhood? You know what I'm saying? What's the Brotherhood saying? Who else knocked down every single man? You see, Brotherhood, you want to jump in? John Dilly and my man TBE, they're ready for that smoke. You know what I'm saying? They're ready for that smoke.
At the end of the day, bro, the first fight with Wilder and Tyson Fury was a case of cherry picking gone wrong. Okay, he cherry picked Wilder because he thought. He cherry picked Fury because he thought that Fury was, drinking, drugging, eating himself into obesity, okay, smoking, doing everything that you're not supposed to do as a fighter. Yep. He figured, hey, this guy has a name, okay, he's a lineal champ. He's sitting on the couch. If I get him off the couch and take him out, I could make a name for myself. And he went in there, even in the shape that he was in, and Fury was in no shape to be fighting at the level of, say, a Wilder at that point in his career. Okay, his own father said that he wasn't ready for that fight, and he shouldn't even fight Deontay Wilder. But he went in there anyway, okay, in the shape that he was in, which is to say, in no shape at all. And he beat Wilder. Okay, they call it a draw, but he actually won that fight. Okay, now, if I was Wilder's team at that point in time when that happened, I would have never taken the second fight. Okay? I would have said no way, because if he could do that, if Fury could do what he did to Wilder, get a draw in the shape that he was in that first fight, how the hell do you expect him to Wilder to beat Fury in the second fight when he had more time to get himself back into better shape? It's an impossible ask. Okay? There's no way he was going to beat Fury in the second fight. No way. And, they went ahead and took the fight again instead of, it would have been better if he had took the fight with AJ. At least if he had got his ass kicked with AJ, he would have made a lot of money, okay? But instead, he went back to the cherry picking again, just thinking that, I knocked him down twice the first time. I'm going to finish it this time. And, again, it was a big mistake, and the rest is history. He turned down the $100 million with AJ. AJ would have beat him, but at least he would have got paid. He would have got paid. Okay.
Hell, I don't think AJ would have beaten, but introducing the Brotherhood,
man.
Introducing the Brotherhood, my man. What's up, Brotherhood? How you doing, bro?
What's up, everybody?
First time on the channel. Go ahead, Brotherhood. Lay it down. Lay the smack down on these guys. Go ahead.
I know this was my first time on your channel, but I've been on the panel with you before. But man, come on, man. We gotta cut this out with not giving this man credit for any fucking thing, man. We gotta stop this, bro. Y'all know boxing better than to not give a man with 10 title defenses no credit for any other title defense. The best guy that y'all saying he got a title defense against was Fury with the draw or whatever. Y'all say, I ain't gonna say y'all. I just heard TBE say this. So you telling me if Wilder beat Fury in that first fight instead of getting a draw, which he should get credit for getting a draw if you think Fury's so much better. But no, even if he beat him, you telling me you wouldn't have gave him credit just because you think it was a cherry pick?
we're not going to talk about if, because if a dog got a square ass, he shit bricks. We're going to talk about what actually happened.
No. We're talking about if because that means it don't matter what he did. You still
we're not going to talk about if. We're going to talk about what really happened.
Yes, we are. We are because you wasn't going to give him credit if he beat Fury.
If he had beat Fury, if he had beat Fury, he would have gotten the credit. But he
don't cut me off. You say, did you not just call it a cherry pick?
It was a cherry pick.
Oh. Okay, so it don't matter if he won or lost. You still would have thought it was a cherry pick. That's my whole point.
No, but if you cherry pick and win, that's a different story than cherry picking and losing.
No, hold on. Let me ask you a question, TBE. Let me just ask him a question. What did Tyson Fury do to justify fighting for a world title? He fought Sefer Safari, and who's that other loser he fought, and he was out the ring for 2 years.
The same thing y'all give him credit for right now, beating Vlad Klitschko. Exactly. Yeah, don't he still get credit for beating Vlad Klitschko?
He's out the ring for 2 years. He blew up. No, he doesn't. No, I don't give him credit for that now. The only
Are you serious?
For currently, yeah, I'm very serious. You can't.
What?
You can't get credit for being out of the ring for 2 years, for ducking the rematch, for taking positive for Nandrolone, and then blowing up to 300 pounds and not fighting. And then when you come back, you fight Sefer Safari. And who's that other fool he fought? Sefer Safari, even the cruiserweight in Albania.
Wait. Do you give Manny Pacquiao credit for beating Keith Thurman?
What does it have to do with this?
It's just answer the question.
On Manny Pacquiao's resume. He won a world title from Keith Thurman.
Okay,
how many world titles did Tyson Fury have? How many world titles was Tyson Fury holding when Deontay Wilder fought him? Because
he was the lineal champion. Wasn't he the lineal champion?
Manny Pacquiao. He wasn't the lineal champion. He wasn't the lineal champion. Vlad was never the lineal champion to start off with.
So who did he?
I can go over this. I've got emails from Mike DeLisa. Yeah, do you know who Mike DeLisa is? He runs Cyberzone Boxing. I've got emails from him confirming that Tyson Fury was not the lineal champion when Deontay Wilder fought him.
So you heard this, EJ? You heard this? Like, look, Wilder picks Fury to fight 2 times. Now. Only since Wilder is fighting Fury 2 times, there's no way in hell that Wilder gets credit for beating Fury at all if he had beat him, right? So, but Fury gets all the credit in the world for beating Wilder for some reason.
Because you're talking about if, and we're talking about reality. He actually beat Wilder.
But that's my point. That's my point. You can't. Wait. You can't use if as a cop out. You wasn't going to give him credit if he won.
Stop talking foolishness, bro. I
mean,
you're talking about
credit if he won.
You can't give somebody credit for
that. Right. He's right, man. He's right.
He's right.
You be hating.
Getting far too much credit.
I agree with the
Fury is getting far too much credit. Fury is getting far too much credit for being a one-dimensional cherry picker who had never fought an elite fighter.
You guys need to stop me.
In that case, if that's the case, then Fury don't deserve credit for beating Wilder. Then
I don't think he deserves that much credit at all. I don't. Stacey McKinley.
We might as well.
2017. I laid out how to beat Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder ducked all sizable punches. One of the reasons they picked Tyson Fury is because they didn't kick a punch.
Wait, tell me this.
How many top 10 heavyweights has Deontay Wilder beaten? How many
tell me this. Tell me one thing. Who are the top 5 heavyweights?
According to what measure?
No, tell me who you think. Don't move the goalpost. Tell me who you think the top 5 heavyweights are.
You want my top 5?
Yeah,
I want your top 5. Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, currently I've got AJ as number 1. After that, I've got Povetkin at number 2.
Jesus
After
Christ.
that, What do you mean, Jesus Christ?
No. He's got no. He's
the number one.
Go ahead. Just go ahead. Don't mind me. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. That's a good one. That's a good one. He beat
Becky's more proven. How many top 10 fighters has Tyson Fury
carry
on. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yo, carry on.
Right. AJ Povetkin. I'll put Tyson Fury in at number 3. And then after that, it's a bit of a muchness, really.
Give it 5.
You can't give me 4 and 5.
Of activity. You've got to have Joe Joyce in there at 4. Joe Joyce at 4. And on current form, number 5. There's just a huge amount of activity and people coming off losses.
Come on, just one more. It's just number 5.
I'm thinking about it because at this point,
come on.
Right, you're into prospects. What do you mean, come on?
I just wanted to know your top 5, bro.
Hold
You're
on.
making it tough, but then it got to be.
Yeah, but I don't sit and rank fighters. So you've asked me now, so I'm giving you a genuine list based on current form. It's like people are falling out of this because people like Dwight have just got knocked the fuck out.
I'm saying AJ. You said AJ Fury, Povetkin, and
No,
yes.
AJ Povetkin Fury. Thank you. If you
AJ. Well, I'm not putting it in order. AJ
Joe
Povetkin Fury, and then you said Joyce.
4.
Joyce, and then who else?
Yeah, and then you've got like I'll just put Parker in, but he's totally at the moment.
Jesus,
like, there's been a huge amount of activity and a lot of upset losses. Right, what's yours?
No.
Down for you.
You put Parker. Hold on. Why would you put Parker in front of Wilder? I'd like to know that. Go on.
Because he's a better fighter.
What Parker?
Yeah.
Can't he, Jay? What? He's not enough of loss.
No.
But you shouldn't suffer after devastating loss like that.
Why would you say he's a better fighter than Wilder? Parker. What's he done?
He went the distance with AJ.
So who's better, AJ or Fury? Who's better?
AJ? I'm not going to follow. I'm not EJ.
Hold on. 1 minute. I don't have to mute. I'm going to mute. People are talking. I don't have to mute people, so I won't have to get to that point. So I'm going back to my man. So Wilder went the distance with Fury. So which one's better?
No, he got knocked out by Fury.
Oh, Wilder first fight, Wilder went the distance.
What have you done for me lately, bro? We're talking about the latest fight. He got knocked the hell out in the 7th round. What are you talking about?
Okay, what's Parker done lately then?
He went the distance with AJ.
Oh,
exactly.
That was back then. That wasn't lately. That's not lately. What are you talking about?
Yeah, hold on a minute. It's my top 5. So who are you asking, EJ?
Don't let me put Bucks backstage. I'm talking.
Hey, EJ, I got one more question. I'll be done. I swear to God.
I ain't finished. I was about to cook on him, but you're lucky.
Wait, well, just
you can cook all you want to, man, but I'm a chef.
This all I got left. You say you named Fury number 3, right? I'm pretty sure you did. No, you said AJ Povetkin Fury. Now, who the hell did Fury beat to become number 3?
Well, Wilder.
Okay, end the story. I'm done. I'm off the screen.
Win since he fought Vladimir. Well, what does that prove? He beat the hell out of him, and that put him in my number 3 spot.
It proves that Wilder had to be.
Come on.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Wilder was a legitimate top 5 heavyweight, but the way that you're going on like 10 defenses, right? Is 10 one belt just to start off with. So you can't be talking about him in the same breath as Muhammad Ali, because Muhammad Ali was undisputed when he had 10 defenses. Yeah.
Bro, it proves. How many
unifications did he fight, and how many champions did he beat?
What it proves is if Fury beat Wilder and became a top 5 fighter after he beat Wilder, because you just said it yourself, he only fought weak ass tune-ups before he fought Wilder, and he only became top 5 after he beat Wilder. I'll let you in the top 3 heavyweights.
Wilder had to be in the 3 heavyweights when he was champion. He was champion. Yeah.
No, it's not because he was champion, bro.
Oh, what's your top 5? Come on, what's your?
Hold on. All right, John Dilly. I got you on back. I got you on back. 1 minute. I got you backstage. Yeah, look, let Brotherhood get it out. I'm gonna add you back in, and then you say your piece after. It's a bad listening for everyone listening. I'm gonna add you back now, John Dilly. Brotherhood, finish your sentence. Stay on mute, John Dilly. Let him finish. Then you come after. That's how it go. Go ahead, Brotherhood.
And look, I'm just gonna finish and jump off of the panel, bro. I'm not gonna clog up your stream because I don't want to go back and forth and raise my blood pressure. But if AJ, Povetkin, and Fury were the top 3 you named, and the best win that Fury got since he came out of retirement was Wilder, then obviously you hold Wilder on a higher pedestal than you actually want to admit to everybody on the panel. End of story. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you hold Parker on a high pedestal without beating anybody, but you say Fury hadn't beat anybody since he came back, and that don't make no damn sense. You got Parker at number 5 when Wilder beat better fighters than Parker has in the past 2 years, which is Ortiz in Brazil, and Parker beat absolutely nobody, but you got him at 5.
Parker beat Ruiz. What are you talking about?
Hold up. No one's gonna interrupt. Yeah, you see the thing. This is the thing about control. You know, like Janet Jackson. Control the album.
They don't want to hear the truth, bro.
No. You're gonna burn. You're gonna get you out, but you don't have to go nowhere. Raise your bar. You're gonna get you out, and then after John Dilly, and then my man TB. That's what we're gonna do. TB, I'm gonna bring you back. Try and control yourself, brother. You finish your sentence. Go ahead.
Like I said, they just said, "What have you done for me lately?" Right? Now, Parker ain't did a damn thing lately. He beat Ruiz in about 2017. Wilder beat Ortiz in Brazil in 2019. So if it's what have you done for me lately, then Wilder definitely did more than Parker lately. So you have to at least have him in your top 5, and you have to give him credit for being the guy that Fury had to beat to be in the top 5. End of story. I don't have anything else to say.
All right, go ahead, John Dilly. John Dilly, go ahead. John Dilly, you're on mute, bro. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. Well, if you're just going to predicate off Parker, fair enough, because I'm not going to fall on my sword over Joseph Parker. If you want to say that Deontay Wilder is this heavyweight, and he's better than Joseph Parker, that's fine with me. But I drop people out of my ratings until they win after a loss. That's how I look at it. How do you come back on that loss? And we're not seeing any evidence of any sort of comeback. He's been out of the ring for 12 months. Yeah? It's part of the reason why I'm struggling to put Fury higher up because of the inactivity level. We're in a strange situation. If you want to put in Tyson Fury at number 2 and you want to rate Wilder higher, that's fine. But when I start asking questions about who Wilder's fought, and you want to bring up Brazil and Ortiz, let's look at that. Let's have a look at Brazil and Ortiz. Brazil's like one of the worst opponents that Anthony Joshua's fought. Let's just keep it real. And then Ortiz, what's Ortiz actually done? He's beat Bryant Jennings. That's his only notable win. So you want to give me those as 2 good fighters? Wilder hasn't fought anybody. He's fought nobody. And he's ducked the best opposition and he's avoided heavy punches. And if you go back and you look at the Romanov in the amateurs, when he wasn't even fighting at super heavyweight, Wilder's got no chin. He's been protected because they know he hasn't got a chin. And those are the facts.
Okay.
Now, you put me on the spot where I don't have a top 5. Yeah, I don't walk around with a top 5, in my opinion, because at the moment, what I think is going to happen is we're going to get a clear number 1 because Tyson Fury and Joshua are going to fight each other, and we'll have an undisputed champion. And whoever wins that, then we can start rating fighters who should be challenging for the titles. But Wilder, how many top 10 fighters has he beaten? How many active champions has he beaten? Don't talk to me about 10 title defenses If you're going to have 10 times, look at Gennady Golovkin. Golovkin didn't fight any opposition. And look what happened. As soon as he stepped up, he got a questionable result against Danny Jacobs. He struggled with Canelo's first fight. If you want to give it, that's a close fight. I don't care which way you score that one. And then the Canelo fight again. It's like when you protect fighters and they fight tomato cans, their power's inflated and they get easy wins and they get this big long list of wins. What happens? You know it's what happens.
How
many top 10 heavyweights?
I got something for you.
One that actually knocked out.
I got something for your candy ass anyway, because I'm gonna put this on your candy ass, so you have to sit and simmer.
Hey, I ain't got no personal comments.
No, he's not personal. But you see, you got Povetkin number 2, right? That's what you said, yeah.
All right, if people want to take me off,
hold on. Wilder went to Russia to fight Povetkin, and Povetkin got himself out that, made sure he didn't fight Wilder, and took drugs. That's what we do know. Wilder said, I don't care. I still want to fight the
drugs. No, I'm going to come back to you on that.
That's fine. Let me ask TB. Let me ask TB, because that's what we do know. Let's ask TBE, because he wants to burn. Go ahead, TB.
We're waiting patiently. TBE.
Boxing. Yeah, at the end of the day, you know, like what's the John Daly said, who was Deontay Wilder actually? I mean, it's not just me saying this. It's not just John Daly saying it. It's his own trainer has come out and said it. Okay? He hasn't fought anybody. Let's be real about that. Okay? We can't, just because, you know, you like a guy who's knocking people out. You could knock out, you know, Mark Breland said he could knock out the guys that Deontay Wilder knocked out. Okay? I mean, at the end of the day, people, we just have to be real. We have to keep it 100. Deontay Wilder has fought nobody. In the 10 years he's been, in the 10 title defenses he's had, he hasn't fought any top 10 opponents, basically, okay? Now, you're going to get points for having the belt. The WBC belt is one of the most prestigious belts, you know, in the heavyweight division. I mean, if not the most, really, okay? So at the end of the day, you're going to get points for having the belt, okay? So I understand that. But to say just because he's a champion that he had the belt that he actually, you know, who did he fight to get the belt? Bermane Stiverne. Where's Stiverne at right now? Okay. Okay. So at the end of the day, you know, we saw what Wilder have done. And, you know, in terms of his legacy, you know, nobody is going to be jumping and shouting for joy over Deontay Wilder's legacy. Okay. We have, you know, he's been exposed, okay, and in more than one way. Okay, his own trainers came out and said that this guy doesn't do the things he's supposed to do as a fighter. Okay, he doesn't really train like he's supposed to. He's surrounded by JDs, is a premier yes man. Okay, who says, oh, when Wilder come into the camp, you know, he tells Mark Breland, you know, don't bother him today because he's not feeling good. I mean, it's a joke. I mean, you know, this guy, you know, we just heard him talking about he's ruling and leading men. I mean, the guy is delusional, okay? At the end of the day, you know, and that's just on a personal level. On a professional level in terms of boxing, you know, he basically hasn't fought anybody, you know? I mean, and as far as the top 5, I mean, I would have like AJ, Fury, Dylan White, Joseph Parker, and Ruiz. And the reason why Ruiz up there, because he beat AJ, you know, his last time around, okay? So he has to be up there somewhere, okay? So those are the top 5. You know, Deontay Wilder is not up there in the top 5. I mean, you don't get to be in the top 5 for getting a draw against Fury when he wasn't in any shape, and you know, and then getting knocked out by Fury in the second fight. That doesn't put you in the top 5. I'm afraid no way, shape, or form.
I've got to pull you up on that, though, TB. You can't have Dillian White in there after coming off that knockout loss to Povetkin. That's why I put Povetkin in there, because he just cleaned Dillian's clock.
Maybe, I mean, at the end of the day, you can debate that, okay? We can debate it, but I mean, the bottom line is that Dylan White has been fighting top competition. He fought AJ, he fought Povetkin, so even if he loses, you know, he's fighting top competition as opposed to, you know,
But that's my point about Povetkin. Povetkin's been fighting top opposition too for a long time.
Yeah,
he's got a better resume than Povetkin.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he's got. I agree with that. Let me get the brother in before I get the brother in. Yeah, and let's go about this. I'm on Deontay Wilder's resume, so I'm gonna show you something. Yeah. But
no, EJ, you're not getting off that easy. You called me a candy.
No.
You're going to talk about Povetkin's drug use.
No. Backstage, Mr. Man. Yeah, remember, this is my channel. This is what we get. I get back. You're going to have to stay on mute now. And then after I talk, the brother's going to talk. So be good, yeah? All right? Let's talk about his so-called record, yeah? Just to make a point. When Bermane Stiverne fought Deontay Wilder, he was 24 1-on-1. That means at that point, he only lost to one guy, right? Wilder took him the distance, and Baverne was very durable. And we know he had a good fight with Chris Alero backwards and forwards, who fought Klitschko and that. You know, these guys, you know, they were filtering out the last kind of prospects, right? The next guy he fought, Eric Molina. Eric Molina's 23 wins with 2 losses. Right, what I'm trying to show you is that there's a pattern here. Yeah, the Wilder's not fighting no dodos. Yeah, these guys they've only got 1 or 2. So Aaron Miller only got 23 wins with 2 losses. The next guy is Harpers, and Harpers went on. I think he went on to beat what's that European guy? I think he either beat Tommy Adamek or he beat what's his name again? That European champion. But anyway, Harper's record is 32 wins with 2 losses. Yeah. Then he went against Arthur Spilker at the time. Arthur Spilker 20 wins with 1 loss. Right. And then again, Chris Arreola, 36 with 4 losses. Gerald Washington was undefeated, 18 wins with 1 draw. Bermane Stiverne the second time. So Wilder put another loss on his record, 25 wins with 2 losses. Luis Ortiz, undefeated. Yeah, 28 wins, no losses, no draws. Tyson Fury, undefeated, 27, no losses, no draws. He gets a draw out of that win. Then he goes against dominant Brazil with only one loss in his record. Yeah, 20 wins with 1 loss, and that's Anthony Joshua. And Wilder KOs him quicker than Joshua in 1 round. Then he goes against Ortiz, previously fought him before, with 31 wins with 1 loss, and that was Wilder, with no draws. Then he goes back against Tyson Fury. So he's fighting top caliber fighters, whether how you rate them. These guys are not coming, these are not stiffs. They've got their own careers. Wilder's stretching them out. Tyson Fury, 29 wins with the draw. That was Wilder. And Fury puts him in a casket. And that's how it is, right? So me, personally, looking at that, if you're looking at that, you didn't even know about Deontay Wilder, you're like, yo, bro, ever since the man's had the belt, every time he's been the belt, he's been going against guys. He ain't going against guys with, like, multiple losses and stuff. Like, he's going to make guys, a couple of undefeated guys. And Fury, so as far as I can see, Ortiz, Fury, both of them undefeated. He takes their O. But Bermane Stiverne only had 1 loss. Gerald Washington was undefeated. He took his O. Arthur Spilker only had 1 loss. The Harpers 2 losses. Molina only had 2 losses, and he done them all. So anyway, that's my take. All right, Brotherhood, give us your take. Go on, Brotherhood.
Okay, everybody would probably agree that Vladimir Klitschko is Tyson Fury's best win, and I'm pretty sure most people give Fury credit for that win when he got the win, right? Now, let's look at Klitschko's results versus Fury. He got washed, right? Fury beat him, you know, he beat him and it was pretty wide. Now, let's compare Wilder's fight with Fury. Wilder got a draw with him. Wilder had a better result than the guy that y'all rank better than Wilder.
Well, which Fury did he fight? Did he fight the same Fury that Klitschko fought?
Wait. He was a young guy. Tyson Fury was only 29, 30 years old.
Did he fight the same?
Coming off of 2 tune-ups.
He was coming.
Wait, let me just finish. He was coming off of 2 tune-ups, so you can't just sit here and act like he wasn't in shape when he was actually weighing less pounds than he was in the first fight than he did in the second fight. So let's not sit here and pretend he was out of shape. That's not gonna fly with me.
We don't have to pretend he was out of shape, and everybody knows that except for you.
So wait, he's out of shape at 259 pounds, but he's in shape at 280. Stop fucking lying to me.
He put the weight.
Don't lie to me, bro. Don't lie to me. That makes 0 sense. If I gain 30 fucking pounds right now, nobody's gonna say, "Oh, you're in better shape." Let's fuck out of here, man. Let's be real. Second of all,
brother, no swearing, by the way. TBE,
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah,
I apologize.
TB, you can't let the man burn in it. You're gonna get around. Like, I'm gonna bring you back. Let's keep yourself from mute. Let the man finish. Right? And now listen, he makes a valid point. Now, this is the thing. I'm gonna show you something, right? When a guy's career is over in boxing, then he should go up. Whether he's old or whatever. The bottom line is that the man came back and the man done his thing. So let my man brother say.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, let him say his piece.
Look,
I'm not gonna interrupt.
Now I'm gonna let you talk after. I'm gonna give you this question right here, but I still want to finish after you answer my question.
No question. You just burn your piece.
No question. But
wait, at the end. Ask him at the end, and then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure. I'll just put it this way. I'm pretty sure I heard you give Fury credit for beating Wilder because you said it yourself. Wilder was a top 5 guy because he was a champion, right? Now, Stavern was a champion when he beat Wilder. I mean, when Wilder beat him, excuse me, I said it backwards. When Wilder beat Stavern, Stavern was a champion. So you would have to keep the same energy and admit that Stavern was a top 5 guy when Wilder beat him. But no, you sat here and said Wilder hasn't beat anybody in the top 5 or top 10 when he actually beat 2 guys, Ortiz, who was in the top 10, Stavern top 5, going by your logic, and he got a draw with Fury, which is a better result than a guy that you call a legend in Vlad Klitschko. A draw is a better result than a loss. So Wilder did better than Fury than Vlad Klitschko ever did. Period. I'll let you go after that.
I think it was John Dilly's go, It was John Dilly's go,
John Dilly, go ahead. John Dilly. I guess he's on mute.
Yeah, okay. No. I can come back on all of this. There's a couple of points I want to make. Yeah. First point, when did Tyson Fury test positive for Nandrolo? And how long do the residual effects of that stay in your system for? Yeah, because if you go and check it, it's a Christian Hamer fight. How can we be saying that Tyson Fury wasn't the beneficiary of using Nandrolo when he fought Vladimir Klitschko? Yeah? And the second point I want to make is I want to know where Brotherhood rates Anthony Joshua and how much credit Anthony Joshua gets. Because if we're going to talk about getting the same energy, I don't hear many Wilder fans giving Anthony Joshua credit for anything, ever. And to your EJ, you're going through. No, I'll deal with the drug one when you want to deal with that. But you just went through Deontay Wilder's resume.
Yeah, go on.
2 unbeaten fighters on there. How many POs has AJ taken? How many people's O's has AJ taken? Yeah,
we're not comparing. We're not comparing
okay,
AJ.
Okay, no. Well, as long as you concede the point, then. So,
no, I'm not conceding.
Right. Hey, all right. Well,
he's got Gerald Washington. He was undefeated. Luis Ortiz was undefeated.
Yeah, he's got Gerald Washington. That's 2. So let's have a look at those 2 guys, right?
Yeah,
that's good. 2 guys done to get in the top 10 when he beat them? Because Josh was taking Parker, who was a world champion. Yeah,
I know. We're comparing Joshua though. We're not really. This is the thing. We're not comparing.
We're not going to compare them, right?
No, we're not.
Okay, that's fine. I can do that.
Yeah. All we doing is
what I'm going to say to you. What I'm going to say to you is, he fought one champion, but Stavern, that's top 10 fighter. Fine.
Yeah.
Luis Ortiz, top 10 fighter. Okay. Yeah. I'm not really sure what it's based on who Ortiz beat, but he's a top 10 fighter. Tyson Fury wasn't in the top 10 when he fought him. And I'm not really sure.
He was number 1 contender.
No.
Number one. Hold up. Yeah, he was.
Voluntary defense. No. First time he fought him.
It was voluntary. Well, okay, you're right. When he fought Klitschko, I'm thinking
first time he fought him, he wasn't a number.
Yeah, you're right. He
wasn't number 10.
It was a voluntary.
He's beaten 2 top 10 heavyweights. That's it.
But listen, this is the thing. See the number game, I can do it all around. The bottom line is, when I put it out, right, I was trying to say to you, right, you see, it's very easy to me look at the resume and see these guys, they've only got one or two losses. That means, on their resume, that means they're coming to fight. And Wilder's dispatching him He's just getting them out of there. And the thing is, if you compare AJ to me at the point, AJ's got a stellar resume, but I'm not comparing him. The point is, brother pointed out is that give Wilder his credit. That's it. It's not AJ Wilder thing. And brother's gonna answer these questions after my man TBE because he's waiting. So brother, store the questions up in your brain. And let's go to TBE. Go ahead, TBE. You give your point. My man, TBE. Because you got something to say. It's going. Go. Brother, answer John Dealey's question.
I'm sorry, I didn't. You asked about Anthony Joshua. Like, do I give Anthony Joshua credit?
He's not there at the minute. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go on.
I got Anthony Joshua ranked #1 at heavyweight. So yes, I do give him credit. I give him credit for the Klitschko win. I give him credit for the Ruiz rematch. I give him credit for putting a loss on Parker's record. And outside of that, it's not much. I mean, maybe I guess I got to give him credit for Charles Martin because nobody else ever beat him. And any other fight he had a fight with Kalinowski that was real close. That was another loss he got. But other than that, he hasn't been washed. He like on Dominic Brazil type of level. And you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I give AJ credit. I'm not an AJ hater.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Don Dilly, he's answered your questions. John Dilly. TB?
I only heard that if he gave AJ credit for Brazil. I didn't really hear him say it.
Okay,
no,
yeah.
I had some Wi-Fi issues.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead, brother. Tell him again. Go ahead.
I'm saying I give him credit for the Klitschko win, the Parker win, the Martin win, the Ruiz rematch, and yeah, Brazil. I forgot because he put the first loss on his record too. And I don't know if I forgot Parker or not, but yeah, I have AJ rated the #1 heavyweight. So yes, I'm giving him the more credit than anybody. But I'm pretty sure anybody that's got 10 title defenses versus top contenders, which you don't have no choice but to fight top contenders in your sanctioning body, deserves credit as well. It's not about me taking credit away from other people and giving it all to Wilder. It's about Wilder getting his just due.
Yeah.
As well as the other guys, period.
Yeah. That's what I'm on. I'm on that 100%. And October Red 100% agree. TBE. You ready? I guess he's not ready. Now listen to this, yeah? Wilder and AJ fight I wanted to see, and I enjoy watching both of them. I'm one of the rare guys that I've interviewed both of them. I've talked to both of them. I actually talked to Fury as well, right? And I enjoy both of them. This narrative, yeah, I don't know why it is that you have to be one or the other. Now, what he's saying, when we give credit to Wilder, why does it feel like to other people that not John Dilly especially, why does it feel like we have to take credit away from AJ? It's not, I don't understand, like, it's not, you know what I mean? It's like Wilder needs his props. AJ needs his props. The defending his belt for as long as he did and beating who he did, that's fine. Now, you want him to get good opponent, he got Fury in there. Now, that's his fault. He should have done Fury and finished them off. Stop playing around. And that's the whole thing with him and Breland. Second fight, they go in, and the chance was gone. Fury came in better shape, had a better team, and sure, he won the fight. And that's where we are at the minute. What's my man saying? You have minute on, what's it? You have me on a minute. I haven't got you on no minute, bro. I don't know what.
Why you say you have him on mute? TB.
I need to take it off. Okay, my bad. Sorry, TB. Yeah. You just need, in my opinion, yeah, it's not one or the other. Like, dudes need to get off that point. When us boxing fans become is like, yo, we need to stop bombing on this guy, give this guy credit and give that credit. Wilder's acting crazy right now, and he looked like he's going crazy. You know, he's talking to the trees. You're over there on the right. Yeah, that's what he's doing. I can clown Wilder, but I ain't gonna just take away what he's done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like watching Wilder. Like, Wilder goes in, and you know he gonna knock out, and he don't. Right now, he's got to the point where I don't even want to do box. He doesn't want to box no more. I just want to let a guy work me over, wait for opportunity, and knock him out. Right? That's what he likes doing, and he likes talking to this day. You know, talking to this day. That's what he likes doing. That's Wilder, right? And then AJ comes in, well-mannered, well-spoken. You can bring him to your mum and this, that, the other. That's him. And then you're Tyson Fury, you can have a drink with, have a laugh, have a giggle. You know what I'm saying? Why can't we just enjoy all three of them and just roll? That's my thing. Go ahead, TB.
Well, again, you know, if you want to give, you could say you want to give Wilder credit for these fights that you're claiming that he, you know, these 10 title defenses. At the end of the day, he was a champion, so you have to give him credit for being a champion. Okay, I'm not going to take his credit away for being champion. Okay, but my whole point with Wilder and my whole thing with Wilder is this. To me, Wilder could be the best champion at heavyweight if he was to actually take boxing seriously. Okay, and I'm disappointed in Wilder. That's the whole thing for me, because he's not applying himself like he's supposed to. Okay, he's not. I mean, he could be the best. Nobody could beat Wilder if he was to actually learn how to box. Okay, and apply himself like he's supposed to apply himself. Okay, instead he's taking the easy way out. Okay, depending on the one punch, you got the hardest punch in boxing. I mean, just think if Wilder was to actually learn to move, to defend himself, to do the things that he needs to do to increase his repertoire of punches, increase his punch selection, learn how to do the things he's supposed to know how to do as a champion, he would be unbeatable. But no, instead, he's out there drinking the Kool-Aid, believing that he got the right hand of God and that somehow or the other, all he has to do is be perfect for 2 seconds and the other guy has to be perfect for 12 rounds. That's a disrespect for boxing, okay? And I'm sorry, but I just can't respect that. I don't respect that philosophy, okay? Because it's bullshit, okay, at the end of the day. And, you know, to continue on with that kind of mentality, you're bound to end up the way Wilder has ended up, okay? Deluded, you know, out there talking about he's ruling people and, you know, all this foolishness. At the end of the day, believe what I'm telling you. I really believe that if Wilder was to really apply himself and do what, you know, what Mark Breland was trying to learn what Mark Breland was trying to teach him, okay, he would be the #1 champion in the world right now and nobody will be able to beat him. Not Fury, not AJ, not anybody, because he has that power. And all he has to do is learn how to box, you know, learn some techniques with that power, and he'll be the best thing since sliced bread. But no, okay, he doesn't apply himself. You know, I mean, when you hear, you know, when you hear Mark Breland say that JDs, which, you know, that's another thing about this whole thing with JDs. Nobody seems to be giving him any kind of responsibility for what's going on with Wilder. You know, when he's telling people that when Wilder come in the camp, you know, don't stress him too much, don't say nothing to him because, you know, if he doesn't want to train, you know, don't try to force him because, you know, he's in a bad mood. I mean, what kind of environment is that you're creating for the champion? Okay, that should never happen.
Floyd Mayweather does it. Floyd Mayweather does that.
You know, that should never happen. That's a joke. And you know, and then Wilder is, you know, basically, you know, going along with that, okay? Instead of disciplining himself, you know, he's basically, you know, riding with the whole yes man thing, because at the end of the day, you know, JD's, you know, and they talk about JD's, you know, there's an article where they talked about how that usually when you're at the level of JD's, is that in terms of having a championship fighter like Deontay Wilder, you know, you usually have more fighters under your belt, and you have a couple other people that you're really training, you know, when you get to that level. But JD doesn't have anybody else but Wilder. So basically Wilder is his meal ticket, okay? And so basically what he's doing is protecting his meal ticket. You know, yes manning Wilder to death. All that shit is going to Wilder's head, okay? He all this talk about the king and his, you know, his subjects and his loyal subjects. I mean, this guy has been drinking the Kool-Aid non-stop. And that's all becoming apparent now that all of this stuff is coming out of the camp. We're getting an inside look of what's actually going on in the camp, okay? This guy is in there, you know, being a diva, you know, not wanting to train like he's supposed to train, you know, coming in there with mood swings and, you know, leaving the camp early, not coming to camp on time, you know, I mean, everything that you should not do as a fighter, okay? And all this talk about being perfect for 2 seconds, and you know the other fighter has to be perfect for 12 rounds. Just shows you what's really going on, because it's coming out of Wilder's own mouth. Okay, we're not hearing this from anybody else, but we're hearing it from Wilder. Okay, so at the end of the day, that's my whole thing with Wilder. Okay, I'm disappointed in Wilder because Wilder could be a much better than what he actually is. I don't think he's really trying. Okay, I mean, just think, he got this as far as he has gotten without even trying. Okay? Imagine if he actually tried. Okay, so this is my whole thing with Wilder. Okay, and people can say what they want, but at the end of the day, like I said, with that type of philosophy and that type of work ethic, okay, it was bound to happen what's going on with him right now. And he's delusional, okay, at this point in his career, because we have heard everything that Wilder has said about this fight that he lost with Tyson Fury, but I could have did this different or I could have did that different. He hasn't said none of that, okay? He was the one that was in there fighting Fury. It wasn't his trainer, it wasn't Mark Brulin, it wasn't anybody else, it was him. And he hasn't taken any responsibility at all. None. Zero. Zilch. Okay, he didn't say, well, I could have, threw the right hand more, or maybe if I, do an uppercut, or no, it's the uniform, it's the water, it's the referee, it's Mark Brulin, it's everything but me. Okay, everything but me. No, not even 1 ounce of responsibility as this guy accepted for losing against Fury. None whatsoever. He didn't say I could have trained more. Nothing. Okay, and then people want to ride with that and say I mean, these people out there riding with this nonsense. Okay, it's bullshit. Okay, at the end of the day, with the kind of philosophy and mentality that Wilder have, okay, which I'm saying is delusional. I don't think he will ever fight again. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Let me. I think.
EJ, yeah, can I come back on you about that point about?
Hold on, now let me.
Everybody.
In a bit. Let me play. I'm gonna play some Wilder on that Instagram live. I must. He wants to fight Andy Ruiz and Andy Joshua. So I'm gonna play that. Let me put everyone on mute. I'll put my man on mute for a sec because they get a feedback. All right, let me play that. Right, play that train. That's what he said.
He fought Tyson Fury 2 times. The first time was it was a draw. Do you feel that you won that fight, or are you okay with the draw? You think that was right?
Hands down. I won that fight hands down. So not only with me knocking him out and the ref getting him more time because he felt like it would be the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Because of the type of fight that it was. It was a highly anticipated fight. It had a lot on the line. And, sometimes these referees go out of their character of feeling like, well, I'm going to do what's best for the sport instead of what's best for what is in the rules of what's going on and stuff like that. It was a lot going on in that fight, but we ain't going to get into all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The main focus is,
you say you think you won? Sure.
I definitely knocked him out. Look how many times you got my referee at that time. I had Jack Reese, and if you go back and look at any of his fights, you know what I'm saying, he stops a lot of fights early. Sometimes they don't even get to get up. They waving it off. Okay. When I knocked Fury out, I literally seen it for my own self. That's one of the reasons why I was so surprised too. You know what I'm saying? Not only with the count, but I seen this man's eyes going. You know how you have them good sex and your eyes roll back in your head? That's how his shit was. But I seen that veins popping out his head, and I knew he had a concussion. He was gone. That's a wave off, period. He hollering in here and all, whatever you seen. Y'all seen this shit. You know what I'm saying? Go back and look at it.
I got you. Now that's real. I got you. That's real talk. So a little bit too much precaution, basically. You feel I got you, like worrying about you going to your corner maybe more than just saying, hey man, this thing is done. We all saw that. You knocked that man out cold, but he got it. Respect. He got him, and that's cool. But it took a little time. But bro, you did that, D, and you still doing that. So okay, that's what it said. So D, let's move this along. I'm gonna go with it. If you could, let's get to some fun stuff now, man. If you could share the ring with any fighter from any weight class, any generation, like any era, that's not active right now, though. Who would you want? Who would you want to have a mega fight with?
When I'm asked, that question, my mind always go back to to Alabama, bro. You know what I'm saying? Okay. With the fighters that came before me, that paved the way before me. Although most of them had started their career in other states, but they was born where I was from, and wanted to go up against a guy that was from where I'm from, like the likes of Joe Louis, the likes of Evander Holyfield, which is one of my favorites, and the likes of Ernie Shavers. You know what I'm saying? I would love to. But out of those three guys, it's a lot more, you know, that came from the state. But out of out of those three guys, I would, you know, if not all of them, I would love to share the ring with them. You know what I'm saying? Maybe when they come out with the time travel, I might have to go back in the little time.
Look at you. I know you will, bro. Hey, you getting better with time, baby. I know you, D. Hey, so D, all right, that's cool. Let's go with all right, how about active fighters, bro? How about active fighters right now? Can you give us three guys that you want to fight?
In any division or just my division? I mean, it ain't gonna make sense to go to it, but hey, you know how it is.
That's fun, though. That's fun. That's fun.
Yeah. You may have to see a motherfucker on the street. You have to go upside again or something. I'm just playing. No, I'm not. You know, without naming the obvious, you know what I mean? People obviously know, but I would love to fight guys that I haven't fought. You know the ones at the top that I haven't fought, haven't got my hands on. That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I know that's kind of lame a little bit to not name a name, but either one that ain't face that's at the top, I'm talking about you.
I got you, D. That's right. That's right. Like, all right, for instance, I got you, D. Me and my boy in here, I see international Thad. He's
That's it, man. So he really said anyone at the top that he want to face. That was really it. Dealey, go ahead. Ask your question. Dealey. Mr.
I'm here, Regis. Sorry. I'm here. Right, okay. So when it comes to like giving them all credit or liking all of them, yeah, I was fine with Deontay until he stopped doing the things that I wanted him to do, which was make unification fights. I feel that should have fought Charles Martin. I understand why Parker went to AJ, because they didn't offer Parker as much money as AJ offered him. But they didn't even try and make the Charles Martin fight. After the Vladimir Klitschko AJ fight, where Deontay Wilder was there, we heard all this talk about ducking, but I didn't see enough energy to see that they really wanted that fight. And the only other boxer who's held the heavyweight title that I hold in the same view as I hold Deontay Wilder now is Floyd Patterson, because I think they've both been protected.
You think Wilder's like Floyd Patterson?
Protected.
You're crazy, man. Crazy.
Okay. Why am I crazy? Why am I crazy?
Because Wilder went to England. I was there at the weigh-in when I was booing bloody Klitschko against AJ. Wilder came to England, and Eddie Hearn's been putting barriers in front of him for the longest about the money.
If you want to go,
hold up. I don't have to mute you. I don't have to mute you, though. You're answering your question, right? What I'm saying is that 1 minute, TB. I know you're on mute, TB. I'll take it off. My bad. Because you was making some noise, TB. Now, right? Eddie Hearn, in my opinion, right, to answer your question, was blocking him when he came to London, right? He got disrespected hardly, straight out the bat. He came there. Everyone heard Wilder came into the audience. It was just before the weigh-in, before they came out for the weigh-in. Everyone was cheering Deontay Wilder. Everyone knew who he was, apart from Eddie Hearn saying no one knew who he was. Everyone knew who he was, right? They were cheering him. At the end of the weigh-in between Klitschko and Wilder, Tony Bellew went over him and started disrespecting him. And you saw that clip on YouTube where Tony Bellew's there talking like this, that, the other. And Wilder's like, who the fuck is this guy? Sorry for swearing. I should know better. Who the F is this guy? Disrespecting me. I've just come to the thing. And after that, I was in the hotel. Wilder was proper. He was pissed off, man. He was, right? And he was walking
in Wembley walking down, and like people trying to get pictures. I don't want to get no picture. And the Alabamians who came with him, his brother, they were all angry because they felt like they got disrespected, and the security let this guy come up and started talking, and they were going to mess him up. The only reason they messed him up was because it was being filmed. If you see that bit, they were going to get him because he came up to Wilder and straight disrespected him because he started disrespecting him. I was like, what? And then it was on straight then. So Wilder had kind of his back up. Now AJ beat Klitschko. Wilder's sitting ringside. Wilder's thinking, I'm here. Hopefully AJ can announce me and say, look, I want to fight you next. He didn't. He said, I want to fight Tyson Fury. He wasn't even active. He looked over his head. Now, at that point now, yeah, I'm thinking to myself, maybe AJ doesn't want that fight. So then Coogan said to him, because Coogan interviewed Wilder and said, I don't know if he wants to fight. I was there ringside. You know, he know I'm the WBC champion. I know he see me there. Why don't AJ say, yo, I want you next? But he called out a guy who wasn't even active, who was bloody, like you said, on a charge for drugs, and and the British board fined him and he was banned, whatever he's doing. He didn't even call him out. So at that point, that's when Coogan went out of his way to chase AJ and said, what would it take to make the fight? Then AJ came out with the money. Wilder came back with the money, and you see how that went round. So in my opinion, Wilder wanted the fight. The only one who was blocking the fight, in my opinion, was bloody Eddie Hearn. And Eddie Hearn, since then, has come out. He said, we should have took the Wilder fight. He said, I cocked up. I was too busy talking in the media, putting numbers out, because he knew what he was doing. He was deflecting, right? It was him, right? He's the reason why AJ would have fought him. It was the Eddie Hearn who blocked the fight. So, yeah, Wilder wanted the fight, in my opinion. 100% he wanted the fight. And I wanted to see the fight, because it was good. It would have been good for both sides, but it didn't happen. It hasn't happened. And now we've got the Fury. So it's a UK, all the UK fight, which is good for us over here. We keep the belts at home, which is cool for us over here, either way, right? But at the same time, yeah, I would have loved to see the American, like you see with Mayweather, Ricky Hatton. You know, that helped Mayweather because he got a UK audience. It would have been good for Wilder to have that UK audience back on the forward. It's good for boxing when you have cross pond backwards and forwards. It's great. You know what I mean? So 100% Wilder wanted the fight. And I was upset with Eddie Hearn. And I don't care, I was. And I was more on the Wilder side at the time. I thought he was being hard done by. Now he's saying, okay, he ain't fighting that guy. I mean, he went to Russia to fight Povetkin, and the man got himself on drugs. Now, let's say he didn't go on drugs, and that Povetkin fight would happen. You guys would have looked at me differently about the top 10 resume and all that stuff, because at the end of the day, then he fought Ortiz because he couldn't get Povetkin. So you say he's the best guy. Wilder went after him and knocked him out, and they go, he's old. You know what I mean? Guys ain't going to get credit until they're creative.
Are you going to let me come back on those points? Are you going to let me come back on? That's all I want to know.
Of course, you don't need to talk, yeah. You know I'm gonna let you think. I'm still cooking, yeah. Now, all I'm saying, I'll mute you now. You just let me finish what I'm saying. I shouldn't even ask you though, because it's my channel, but I'll mute you now, right? What I'm saying is this, yeah. All right. All I'm saying is this: he 100% wanted the fight, and Eddie Hearn put the blocks up, and Eddie Hearn admitted later on. I think it was like 2 months ago. He admitted that he shouldn't have did that. He should have let the fight go ahead because he seen what Wilder was, and he said that AJ would have done him. And AJ knew he would have done him, but Eddie Hearn didn't believe in that. And another thing as well, Eddie Hearn and Al Heyman, he didn't want to give him a shot. He didn't want to put him in that position. So that's what it was. And it's a shame for boxing. But we have an all-domestic fight between AJ and Fury. Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. And that's where we are now. Go ahead, John Dealey. Oh, you on mute? Okay, yeah, go on. Go ahead. Now you're on mute now. Go ahead. There you're right now. Go on.
Okay. I'm not saying Eddie Hearn's blameless in this situation. But my issue is, if you're serious, yeah, about making a fight, and you get an offer that you don't like, yeah, you need to say what you want. You don't go running to the media saying that this is a terrible offer. Those weren't his exact words, but I'm not going to use the words that he used. Yeah. If you're serious, you enter negotiations. Now, I don't think Eddie Hearn handled it perfectly well. Mm-hmm. And you're right, Eddie Hearn's looked back in retrospect and said, well, he could have done better. And that they should have just offered him 50-50 on a couple of occasions. And I'm all right with that. Like, that's fine. But that's not really my point. I haven't seen Wilder take on heavy punchers. And I'm not including Luis Ortiz in that, because based on what I've seen on Luis Ortiz, and I've watched these fights, and I've been through them. Luis Ortiz hasn't fought anybody. His best win's Bryant Jennings, who, how good is Bryant Jennings really? He went through Vlad. And I would argue that if you watch that version of Vlad, not only did it make HBO kick Vlad off their platform, but it said to me the writing was on the wall. Vlad was right for the picking. Tyson Fury took advantage of it. But that aside, yeah, I think he has been protected from heavy punches because they know he can't hold a punch. That's my view. Because you've just shown footage of Fury on the heavy bags there. You box EJ. Are you trying to tell me that you think Tyson Fury is a genuinely hard puncher? Like, the man's technique's horrible. He throws arm punches. He doesn't turn his shots over properly. When he sits down on his punches, they are. The reason that he doesn't sit down on his punches when he's trying to fight in that elusive style is because he can't generate speed if he's trying to generate power. He can't do the two together. And that's a problem, because speed and power are actually interconnected. Like, Wilder's power comes from the speed that he puts into that right hand. That and the amount of leverage he gets onto it. So I genuinely think that he's been protected from heavy punchers because he hasn't fought any. To this day, I still don't think he's fought a heavy puncher in the heavyweight division.
So all right, okay. Let me look at this. Right, what's Brotherhood got? Brotherhood's got something on the screen. I know Brotherhood. What you got there, Brotherhood? Brotherhood sharing. All right. So let me ask you. Let me go back to the Ortiz one. Right, Eddie Hearn sabotaged that guy. Right, in my opinion, he sabotaged him because when Ortiz came over, he was high up on the WBA rankings. After he left Eddie Hearn, he was diminished. They put him in fights against Dave Allen, and he nearly killed that guy. That's one of the worst matchups I've ever seen. I mean, why would you put a top-rated guy in the world and put him against Dave Allen? And then he got killed. Then he puts him in against what's his name again? Wilder's mate. What's his name again? What's that guy's name again? What's Wilder's mate called?
Malik Scott. You put him with Malik Scott.
Yeah, Malik Scott. And then he just bad matchups. And the thing is, his stocks start go down. And then all of a sudden he takes test positive for I'm gonna have to take that off the screen, bruv. I'm gonna have to take that off the screen, my man. You know what I mean? Take that off the screen right there. All right. So what I'm saying is this, yeah, right? All I'm saying is this. So I'm not gonna share the screen, brotherhood. So what I'm saying is that you can make your point, brotherhood, without the screen, because I'm not gonna see much stuff on the screen there, right?
I just wanted y'all to see that real quick. I don't want to share it forever.
Okay. What you got here? What's that?
No. Y'all should have seen it by now, but
yeah,
Eddie Hearn ripped. He called Wilder an idiot for asking for 60-40. And then exactly a year later, offers him 60-40. And this is after the fact Wilder accepted a $12.5 million offer. So, like, what else could Wilder do, man? Like, he obviously wanted that fight, and Eddie Hearn was just gonna keep playing around.
Can I come back on that point that you just made about?
Hold on, one minute.
I can't go unchallenged.
Oh no, wait. What I'm saying is that you've already admitted that Eddie Hearn tried to sabotage. He's admitted it, so there's nothing more in it. We understand that. So Wilder is not getting an easy ride of it. And what I'm saying is that AJ looked over him, right? But AJ would fight him. But that's why Coogan was pressurizing AJ. Why we get that fight? Because at the time he had the WBC and AJ had the rest of the belts. And that's the fight. The division wanted that fight. Wilder wanted the fight. Coogan wanted to see the fight. But now we've got all domestic thing that's been pushed under the rug. Now, what we're saying with Wilder is that Wilder was trying, like I said, you've been to Russia. Ortiz got sabotaged by Eddie Hearn, and then trying to say he's got blood medication, completely disrespected. And he's a good level fight. Everyone knows Ortiz is a good level fighter. I'm not gonna sit here and bomb on Ortiz. He's not one of them guys that people necessarily want to fight. He's a southpaw, and no one really wants to fight that guy. But Wilder went in and took him out. He went to Russia, and that guy went on drugs. And now that guy's the same guy that Wilder went to fight. He fought Dillian and knocked Dillian out. Now, and then Eddie Hearn was telling, this is what Eddie Hearn told Wilder. You need to fight Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew said, no, I'm not fighting him. Then he told him, you need to fight Dillian Whyte. And then Dillian Whyte was pushing that fight. And Wilder's like, why do I need to fight the scrubs? That's a basketball term, by the way. Why do I need to fight the scrub? I'm not fighting him. I'm a king. I'm a king, bro. Only kings fight kings, right? So what I'm saying is that I'm like, yo, that's true. I don't want to see that. So Eddie Hearn was doing everything he can to block the fight. and you admitted it as well. So we should, at that point, there's nothing really in. Whether the
I don't know. I haven't admitted it. I've said there's things he could have done better. There's blame on both sides.
Go ahead.
There's blame on both sides. So this is the question I've got. You want to put up about $12.5 million. The contract was sent. Why didn't it get signed? Because as soon as he signs that contract, yeah, AJ has to get in the ring.
No, they wasn't going to get in the ring when they done the contract. It wasn't. It was for a couple of fights, wasn't it?
No, the $12.5 million for Povetkin, yeah. Eddie Hearn got a dispensation from the WBA to put Povetkin's mandatory back. Yeah, he had to write to the WBA to do that because mandatories are not done by unifications. You have to go to the governing body and get a dispensation to actually do the unification, which Eddie Hearn did. He then sent a contract to Wilder, which they verbally accepted. They sat on it and they didn't sign it. Now, whether Eddie Hearn was happy about that, whether Eddie Hearn was too quick to say, right, we're going to fight Povetkin because he's got to fight his mandatory, he had a week to sign it. If he signs it, he just got nowhere to go. You need to tell me why he didn't sign the contract when it was sent to him.
Eddie, I remember that whole situation. Eddie Hearn upset him so much. He said, I don't want to deal with him no more. And that's when Eddie Hearn sent the contract. They verbally accepted
the contract. No. Pull it all up. I've been over it so many times.
Listen. Yeah. You don't listen. I remember what Wilder said though. You don't have to go. I remember what Wilder said. He said, I ain't dealing with them no more. They don't want the fight. I don't care what they send over. I ain't signing ish. And that's where his point was. That's it. So when they signed over, you got
that out of contact.
No. I'm not even getting back over it. You're on backstage for a minute, yeah, right? Because I'm not going backwards and forwards, right? Eddie Hearn upset the man. The man said he doesn't want to deal with them no more, and that's where we are at the minute. I'm going to bring you back off backstage, George. You're not going to stay there forever, yeah? I'm going to let TB get a window because we just go backwards in circles on that one, right? But you could do after. John Dilly came off. TBE, go ahead. Give us your take.
What? My take on what?
Or what we're saying. Anything we're saying, or you just want to leave it alone?
Yeah, I'll pass on that, on the contract. At the end of the day, I don't really know too much about the whole back and forth with the contract. All I know is that Wilder said that he could have, got more money to fight AJ than Tyson Fury, but he chose to fight Tyson Fury anyway. So that's what I know.
Yeah, I remember that.
Hey, I'd like to speak on it though.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's real quick. Eddie Hearn is a liar. Y'all fell for a hoax, which is why Wilder said, I had enough of you, because Wilder's not a dumb guy. First of all, Povetkin was the so-called WBA mandatory, right? WBA, right?
Yeah.
Now, Povetkin, the WBA super belt doesn't even have a damn mandatory. Excuse me. It doesn't even have a mandatory. WBA super champ does not have mandatory obligations. Only the WBA regular champ does. So that was a flat out lie. And they got scared because Wilder actually accepted a lowball offer and had to go to plan B, which was to just straight flat out lie and fool the masses and act like they had a mandatory in Povetkin coming up. A mandatory for WBA super belt does not exist. Look it up.
I will say one thing though. I don't agree with this talk about Deontay Wilder fighting Dylan White first or fighting that guy first.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a champion. Champions, if you want to fight the champion directly, he challenge AJ, he should fight AJ.
That's what we want.
I don't agree with that bullshit about, you got to fight this guy
first.
Or you got to fight this guy first. He's not, what? I mean, he's a champion. AJ's a champion. Fight the champion. The champion, the best fight the best. That's what it's about. So I don't agree with all that fight this guy, fight that guy first nonsense. And I think I would have to agree with a lot of people that say that, that Eddie Hearn was really trying to block the fight from happening. Okay. And because when you do that, that just tells me that you don't really want to fight.
At the time, yeah.
Look. He didn't make my bad. He didn't make Parker fight Dillian White before he fought Joshua Diddy.
Yeah, he didn't. No, he didn't because he knew. Yeah, because they looked on Parker and said he's easy. This is what I'm trying to say. They've been blocking Wilder out for the longest, yeah, and now they don't have to deal with him, and that's all this has been about. And now, and this is where we are at this point, right? Wilder's turned crazy. Wilder lost the plot. The man's turned nuts. Yo, 1 minute. One minute. TV is cooking some food. I can hear rustling about some good food, yeah. Now, Wilder's lost the plot. And this is why all the outbursts and all the madness is coming, because he vexed, bro. But at the same time, even all that stuff I'm saying, Wilder should have done the job in the first fight with Fury. He dug Fury out of the grave. You know what I mean? He dug the man out. The man was cold, stiff in his bed. He dug him out, and Wilder should have done his job. And that's why him and Breland told him what to do. And Wilder admitted after the first fight, I didn't listen to my coach. You know, we had a good game plan, but you know me, man. I got carried away. I want to knock him out. And that way, where it'll start going wrong, where Wilder wasn't respecting what Breland was saying. Breland said to him, work the body. That's what you do. The man's got legs. All he had to do is work the body, work his legs, stiffen his legs up, and then he could have got him there and knocked him out. But even saying that, Wilder still knocked him down, and Wilder treated it arrogantly. You heard Wilder say himself, when he knocked him down, I saw his eye roll. I thought it was over. Bro, when you rolled him, you should have stand there waiting for him to finish, because you know at that point, if you knock out Fury at that point, now there's nowhere else for AJ to go. They have to come see you, and you should have finished the job. But you didn't. You give the man a little bit of air, and Undertaker, Lazarus rose up from the dead. Let that referee. He's right about the referee though. Jack Reese would have waved off. Jack Reese looked like he had some smelling sauce on his arm. I swear down, bro, because Fury woke up. Fury got up, and Fury outboxed him when he got back up. I ain't gonna lie, he outboxed him, when he got back up. And then Fury survived another day fighting these bums. And then while he looked even better against them, but against Wilder, he changed his team. You know, he got a man of color. You know what I'm saying? Black and brown coach, and they came with a better game plan, and he wins. And he's into the mega fight, and that's just simply where we are now. Wilder's angry and cussing and this, that, the other. But let me tell you something. Wilder should have left Fury where he is. Left Fury. He didn't need to fight Fury. He could have, like what we talking about. We say he's knocking out bums, but just keep knocking out bums. Keep defending your belt like Golovkin until eventually something would have give. The fight would have melted that money. You still would have had your undefeated record, right? And leave Fury, let Fury there. He's back. John Dilly's back. You leave Fury where he's at. That's where I was at. I mean, leave Fury. The bottom line is the UK, Eddie Hearn, they wanted to keep the belts in the UK. That's where it's going to stand. Wherever that fight happens, the UK keeps the belts. And that's how I think Eddie Hearn wanted. He put in roadblocks in front of my man Wilder. And then I mean, I'm upset, but I'm not upset. I'm more upset with Wilder, some of his comments on what he's saying about Breland, blaming the referee and this, that, the other, and the way. I'm not rolling with none of that stuff he's saying. No, I'm not. No, sir. Right? The thing is, you should have did the job in the first time. You didn't need to bring Fury out, but I know what you was doing, because Shelley Finkel said, look, man, the only way we can get this fight is you got to dig Fury out of the grave. Put him in the ring, knock him out, and then we can go back to the negotiating table and you can get your 50-50. Wilder just said, bomb that. I ain't doing ish. I'm going to keep knocking out my bums, or whoever it is, or whoever's in front of me, and everyone's got to come see me. You know what I mean? Because Wilder's look like now, he's walking around, he's in his house, he's talking to trees, he's shooting the gun range over there, he's talking to Wallace, his brother, what's his name? Marcellus Wallace, talking about, man, listen, bro, you know, Marcellus trying to coach him back into boxing. I don't know what Wilder's doing. All I know is this. It's a bad look right now. John Dilly, go ahead. I'll meet yourself. Do I meet you? Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, you didn't want to let me make my point about that 12.5 million.
I was still talking though, but that's why you cut it.
All right, I apologize. I can apologize. My point about that is what you're saying, that what I said about Fury, I mean, about Eddie Hearn, he didn't start saying that until the Vetkin fight. And I actually think that's why he said it. Because he thought he was going to get the 12.5 million in the AJ fight. But they didn't sign the contract. And then the Povetkin fight came in. Now, you put all this blame on Eddie Hearn, and he deserves some blame, but you ain't putting none on Shelley Finkel.
Oh, I did.
I did. No, I just did.
I dropped off, and I didn't hear you, because you know I wasn't there. So if that's the case, all right, I apologize. But they should have signed that contract. And if you go back and you check when he said he wouldn't deal with Hearn, it's after the... hold on, if you go back and check, it's after the...
Which contract? I'm just asking you which contract. The DAZN one, which contract? The DAZN one or which contract?
12.5 million that Finkel asked for, that they verbally accepted, yeah? Hearn sent the contract. Is that on it?
Hold on.
Over a week. Oh, hold on. Let me finish. Because, like, come on. Right, they sat on it for over a week. They didn't sign it. They had it for a week. Hearn then expecting fight, saying, and I don't know if it's true or not, that the WBA were not prepared to wait any longer, and that he'd been holding the WBA. He definitely wrote to the WBA. He definitely got a dispensation to make the unification fight, and he sent a contract. That's serious. You don't just do that if you don't want the fight. Was he underpaying Wilder? Yeah, maybe. But they had the contract for a week and they didn't sign it. And that. I want to know why that is. And saying he wouldn't work with her, he didn't start saying that until after the Viking fight got made. And I actually believe that Wilder was upset with Hearn because he had the intention of fighting AJ at that point. But I think Finkel sat in the contract because they were protecting him. That's my view. And if you look at the sequence of events, if you go back and you look at the record, that's how it played out.
All I know is this, yeah? Wilder had enough of him, and 12 million, that fight, I know, you know what, in the day, you know what the thing is, and you know what, I can't even disagree with you, you know? Take the blood, I don't care, you know, because ain't no money come in my pocket, because even though I think about it, it's like, right, he should get more, but take the money. If you feel you can beat him, go take the money, whatever, beat him, and then you can negotiate. Like Mayweather probably took a pay cut when he fought Oscar De La Hoya, so just take it. You just take it. I'm not even going to argue the point. You're probably, you know, I'm not going to say he deserved more. I'm not into that. See, that's what people getting it twisted. Let's talk about Eddie Hearn. The Eddie Hearn. What did he do this weekend with Josh Warrington? Let's talk about that. Yeah. We're going to talk some UK news. I know brother would probably on this one. He made Josh Warrington vacate his IBF belt. He tried to get a unification with the WBA, and they said that's not a real unification because that guy's not a real champion. They didn't recognize that. Then the IBF said, look, Kid Gallen's the next in line. He said, I don't want to fight him. He got complacent. He vacates his belt. Eddie Hearn digged up a Mexican guy who's been fighting on the circuit with all them savages down in, and then the Mexicans do, and all like the African Americans as well, usually happens. They got circuits where they have to fight each other because no one else wants to fight them. He digs out this Mexican that no one's heard about, Mauricio Lara, and he completely does a job on Josh Warrington, who's used to fighting boxers who run away from him. So he's aggressive. He fights like a Mexican. So now you fought a real Mexican in there, and he got tucked in. When's Eddie Hearn gonna be holder responsible? And then let's talk about Azafar Barrett and the scorecards. Why is he making a big thing about the scorecards, and he ain't making a big thing about Katie Taylor and that Bassoon fight where she got robbed? That Bassoon got robbed in New York on the undercard of Ruiz and Joshua 1. Now Eddie Hearn needs to be held accountable for some of his rubbish, and I'm gonna put it on him. Right, he does, right, and that's what it is. He does some good things for boxing, but when he does some bad things, he needs to be held accountable. He messed up Josh Warrington's career. He's messed it up. Where's his value now? He ain't got no belt. He's just lost to a guy no one. And even if he beat that Mexican guy, Mauricio Lara, who cares? No one knew who he was. That's one of the biggest upsets in British boxing history, right there. That's Eddie Hearn. Another thing what Eddie Hearn did, I'm gonna point out, Eddie Hearn made Anthony Joshua lose against Andy Ruiz. Andy Joshua was supposed to fight. Everyone knows he was supposed to fight Big Baby Miller, right? And Big Miller was being disrespectful. And us in the UK, we wanted to see Big Miller get tucked in, and I did as well. But my man, when AJ started talking about the man's mum, and the man, his own mum, started liking AJ, come on, that must have messed with his head. The man was so messed up, he went and took drugs. Same thing Povetkin did to escape Wilder. And then at that point, AJ should have just packed his bag way off back to the UK. He let AJ overtrain in Miami, hanging out with the rappers. And he said, we're gonna bring a better opponent. So he looked at, he did. Everyone know he did. He looked at Ruiz like everyone else did and said, we're gonna bring this hamburger in. Yeah, we're gonna bring Kung Fu Panda in, and we're gonna sort him out. You know what I mean? But Kung Fu Panda is dangerous. You ever know about Kung Fu Panda? You know, if you hit him, it just bounces off his belly. And that's what happened to AJ. He got sorted out, man. And Eddie when he made that's one of the biggest mistakes ever. What about Kell Brook messing up his career? Kell Brook is the undisputed IBF champion at welterweight. He goes to America, beats Sean Porter. He comes back, fights bums. Fine. Yeah? 3 bums. Yeah? 3 bums he fights. Then he goes to him because Eubank doesn't want to fight Triple G. He puts his welterweight champion, not 1 weight, 2 weights up against Triple G, and he gets his eye bone smashed.
Then he says to him, you know what, you done me a good job. You got me out of trouble there with Showtime. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to have your home fight in Sheffield Wednesday because you helped me out, and you're going to go against Errol Spence. Mashes up the other orbital bone. Then when Kell Brook tries to rally and does his own thing, Eddie Hearn goes, when Kell Brook tries to fight Crawford, what does Eddie Hearn say about one of his fighters? Absolute disrespect. Oh, he's only doing it for the money. I ain't doing nothing for him. Look how he was talking about Kell Brook. So Eddie, I ain't got no. Eddie Hearn, it was accountable for that whole mess up between the Wilder, AJ. He's responsible. John Dilly, you're right. Hey, you know what? Wilder should have took the money. I'm not even going to get into it and say he doesn't. He should have took the fight. That's where Eddie Hearn does some good things, but in that regards, does some bad things. And now we're deluming about MC Global and the gangsters. Who let them in the door? Who let them guys in the door? Or did they kick down the door? How the heck did these gangsters get in the boxing? That's another conversation. I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay. Can I come back on some of those points? Because the Kid Galahad one that upsets me the most. Like Josh Warrington, yeah, you want to put all the blame on Eddie Hearn. They both need to take the blame for not fighting Kid Galahad. And he's got what he deserved. Because Hearn, I don't know.
Dilly, you're mute. Anyone else wanna take?
Yeah, man. Yeah, you right, bro. I can't say it any better than you did. Like, as a whole, in this past 5 years, Matchroom is a disaster, bro. I don't care what anybody say. And it's not coming from no US bias or nothing like that. I love a lot of fighters on Matchroom. My favorite Matchroom fighter is somebody nobody even expect. It's Ted Cheeseman. And he even ruined Ted Cheeseman's career. It's a damn shame, man. Like, everybody that goes to Matchroom, it's like,
yeah,
they just take losses that they shouldn't even be taking. You know what I'm saying? Like, you put Dillian White in with Povetkin instead of talking them into the Joshua rematch and stuff like that. It's just
yeah. Let's talk about that one. Povetkin versus Dillian. Dillian's the #1 contender. #1. Uno Nubro. #1. Right? He's right there. He could take a year off. He don't have to fight no one. He could fight stiff because he fought Marius Wack. Continue fighting the level. Who convinced him to fight Povetkin? What the blunder that was. You know what I mean? Like, anyone knows because that guy can hit one of the hardest punches in the division. And he's another guy to pave Dillian's way. Dylan didn't need to fight him. And look where we are now. Well, I enjoyed the fight though. I ain't gonna lie, it was a good fight. But now we are in the rematch. So, hey, you're right. Eddie is making some major blunders, but at the same time, some great fights. You know, even though it's wrong, it's right either way because we see some good fights.
EJ, the biggest blunder is how Eddie Hearn's treated Kid Galahad. Because wasn't that going to be in the house fight? Didn't Eddie Hearn have Kid Galahad at Matchroom?
I think he had him and Brook, right?
Yeah.
No. Kid Galahad for the Josh Warrington fight. Well, not in-house fight if they'd have made that fight.
Yeah, Eddie didn't want to make the fight.
Yeah, well, that's my issue. It's like, why are you treating Kid Galahad like that?
Yeah, because if
he wins, you can do a rematch. It's all in-house. And you got Adam Smith talking about him being a drug cheat. He served his time. He wasn't it a Jack Free for the same thing that Dillian got popped for.
Same thing. You know what?
So why aren't you keeping energy the same? Why are you treating Kid Galahad like that?
No, I don't understand it at all. I don't want to get on the.
And then what you sow, you reap what you sow. That's what I'm going to say.
I don't want to get on the color. I don't want to get on the color thing, but bro, like, to me, sometimes it seems like people with black and brown, whoever they are, they're getting roasted by Eddie.
Well, I'll get on it. I'll get on it as a white man. Eddie Hearn gives preference to white fighters. Why does he care if Dave Allen's rich?
Yeah.
What is that about? Dave Allen can't fight. What's all that about?
Yeah.
That's just straight as it is, and that's why I'm putting out the whole Kid Galahad thing. It's not what happened to Josh Warrington. It's not like that. What's that about?
Yeah, well, listen to this. Have you heard the Kid Gallen interview? He said Eddie Hearn was threatening him. He's gonna block him and do Eddie. It's on Gareth A. Davis, right? For you guys, check it out. And Kid Gallen lays it out. This is 4 days before the thing. So karma got to Josh Warrington, and the beating he deserved, and that's just shows you Eddie Hearn don't understand matchups because 2 mistakes. Why would you put that Mexican in against Josh Warrington? That's one question. Why would you pick Ruiz for Anthony Joshua? Why would you do that? I mean, bloody hell, man. If they ain't 2 big blunders, I don't know what. Why would you put Triple G against?
Well, the other question you gotta have with the Andrew Ruiz fight is Sarah Athena interview legit? Because if the Sarah Athena interview is legit, Eddie Hearn shouldn't be putting Anthony Joshua in at all with anybody.
No, yeah.
I don't know how legit that interview is, but that's what the mistake is. In the Serafina interview after she got sacked by Salita, talking about Big Baby and Poppin.
Oh yeah, go on.
You remember Serafina? So Serafina came out like a long time after. I think it's after Anthony Joshua beat Ruiz in the rematch. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she said that she saw Gerald Miller for Poppin because they had people sparring AJ and they knew AJ had a concussion. So they thought Gerald was going to win.
Okay.
Now, I don't know how legit that is. She's come out and said that. She said it. She said it a long time after. She said it after AJ beat Ruiz. So and AJ didn't give out any excuses. So I don't know if that's legit. Eddie Hearn shouldn't be putting him in there.
No, but that's what boxers.
You shouldn't put your fighter in.
The number one guy.
You shouldn't do that. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. But you know what? You shouldn't be doing it.
No, you're right, but it's the number one guy. That's what shows you how all he cared about is the limelight. And we're going to America. We're going to show Wilder that we're more popular than him. And it was all about Eddie Hearn. It wasn't about the fighter. And that's what it's about. We're going to let Dan the Man jump in, get some airtime. Dan the Man Boxing. If you don't know now, you know. Make sure you sub to Dan the Man's Boxing. And make sure you sub to my man TBE Boxing as well. Make sure you sub, and the Brotherhood. My bad. Sub to the Brotherhood. If you want conspiracies and you want an alternative perspective on things, make sure you sub to the Brotherhood. Dan the Man, come in.
Yo. What's up?
Yeah. You heard Wilder on Instagram. Wilder was on Instagram just a couple of hours ago.
Oh yeah, I heard about that, but I didn't get a chance to look at the interview. But I mean, look, Deontay, just brother, he got to get himself together, man. Because right now he's my fighter, but he's acting a little funky right now. He got to get his head on straight. I know that loss is something that you don't want. You still lingering over your head. But you got to get over that. That's over a year now. You know what I mean? I know we have our differences of opinion about it, but it's done. It's over with. It's over a year now. Just focus on what's at the task at hand right now. That's what he needs to do. That's one thing I will say about that. Hopefully he'll get sorted out. I believe he will. But other than that, as far as the Josh Warrington situation, let me shed some light on that situation. Why on earth would you advise your fighter to Josh Warrington, who is arguably the #1 featherweight in the world right now, who's on his way to be perhaps a big draw? Why would you tell him to give up his title to avoid a rematch with Kid Gallihan, which he could possibly win, by the way, given the fact that he arguably won the first fight, to fight a nobody who's a hard hitter, who has a good chin, who's hungry, is coming in to win? Why would you put him in there against a guy like that who doesn't run, he stands in front of you, takes a good shot, and he's going to keep coming forward? And we know Josh Warrington does not have that concussive power. So why would you put him in there against somebody like Mauricio Lara? Seriously. Now, I'm not saying I never knew who Lara was all about, but what I'm saying is that if you understand the pedigree of the Mexican fighters that fight in Mexico, they start their pro careers at the age of 15. Let's take that into account, number one. Number two, the way they train their fighters in Mexico, they train them how they can muster power on their punches. They don't teach them how to be combination punches. That's what they do. They teach them how to be durable. They teach them how to put a lot of muster and power to their shots. So opposed to European fighters, in England, I know they have a different style of training. They teach you combination styles rather than how to, muster power to some degree. So I know, EJ, you could attest to that. But the fact is that it just looks bad right now. Josh Warrington particularly, because I know he started with Eddie Hearn early on in his career. But as things didn't work out, he goes to Frank Warren. Frank Warren was the guy who got Josh Warrington in the position he is right now. That's what I'm trying to wonder. Why would you leave Frank Warren when you're at the height of your career?
I'll tell you
And then you go back to Eddie Hearn. That makes no sense.
I'll tell you why. Bro, Frank, I
bro.
listened to the interview with Frank Warren. Frank wasn't making no money of him. The little cheapskate, he wasn't making no money of him. Even though he said at Leeds, yeah, Frank Warren looked at the numbers and he looked at him and he said, bro, because like, I'll give you an example, right, Dan? So, and John knows this, you make money on the live gate, yeah? So you sell out Leeds Stadium, whatever. But the real money is where? It's pay-per-view, isn't it? That fight wasn't pay-per-view. None of them were. The one against Lee Selby definitely weren't pay-per-view. It looked beautiful, camera lights and everything on the venue. It looked great, but it wasn't pay-per-view. And nor was the Frampton fight, which should have been, and that weren't pay-per-view either. So because they weren't pay-per-view, then Frank Warren looked at the money and looked at the numbers. It's not worth it. He's not worth it. So Frank Warren got rid of him. And the next guy was with Gallan and Frank. I'm not putting that on TV. I'm not putting that fight because the first fight Eddie wasn't good. And Eddie Hearn shipped Gallan over to BT, innit? He didn't mind shipping Gallan over to BT to fight the fight. But Eddie goes, I don't want that fight on Sky. You're going to stick the place up. So Eddie doesn't want the fight on Sky. So Eddie doesn't really respect Josh Warrington. So Josh Warrington now, out of lack of not fighting certain opponents, that's why he sat on the pine for a year and a bit, avoiding guys. And now his timing was off. And maybe he would have fought better if he was more active. But that style against the Mexican, you only got 7 knockouts, bro. My man's got 14. And the age, Eddie Hearn, the age what killed it. The guy's 22. Now, people say he might be lying. It doesn't matter. 22, you're 30. That means his recovery is going to be quick. It was a massive blunder. Massive. But the bottom line is Eddie had never cared about Josh Warrington. That's why he went to Frank Warren and he blew up with Frank Warren. But Frank looked at the numbers and he ain't worth it either. So Frank didn't care that he went back to Eddie Hearn. So what I'm saying is that no one wants Josh Warrington, bruv. No one wants him. He's a headache. I'm going to say this right now. EJ Boxer Live right now. Frank Warren set him up. Not Frank Warren. Eddie Hearn set him up. I'll tell you why. He looked at the numbers, looked at this, and he put him in that fight to get beat by the Mexican. You know why he set him up? And he signed the Mexican. Why did you think about it? He brought the guy in. Yeah, listen, and he signed the guy up. So that guy's ready to go again. And that guy, you know what I'm trying to say to you, bro? Yeah, and what he did, he made the kid vacate his belt. What about Usyk? What's Eddie Hearn done to Usyk? He brought Usyk over, and he had his reputation from the World Boxing Suit. What has Eddie Hearn done with him? Put him against Clarence Witherspoon, and he put him against Derek Lewis. Yeah, and he looked bad against Derek Lewis. So Eddie Hearn's killed my man. What are people saying about Usyk? He ain't that good no more. You know why he did that? Because Eddie Hearn doesn't want him fighting Andy Joshua. Eddie Hearn's great. That's what he's doing here. This is real talk.
Well, can I say something real quick?
I'll go ahead. My bad.
Yes, real quickly, Brotherhood, man, real quickly. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with your point there, EJ. But I will say this, though. I think, me personally, after this fight, Josh Warrington, I think his career is pretty much done after this, man. I just don't see how he can recover from this. Now, he may get a couple of fights here and there, but he's not going to be the same fighter after this. That was just a beating he took for 9 rounds, a straight-up beat. And it's hard to come back from that. Now, will he go into retirement? Don't be surprised. I think he will. I think he will go into retirement. But it is worth pointing out, though, it seems like every time Eddie Hearn matches up his fighters against these Mexican fighters, the curse seems to happen. I'm not trying to be funny, but if you think about it, every time he puts them in there against these Mexican fighters, they end up getting stretched out in the ring every single time. I don't know, man. It just seems like his fighters can't do well against these Mexican fighters. They just can't do it. I know Joshua had bad luck against Ruiz and he came back and avenged that loss, but it doesn't negate the point that he had bad luck against Ruiz. But the fact is that that's just a bad track record. And I think Eddie Hearn's going to have to go back and revise his matchmaking and say, you know what, I can't put them in there against some of these Mexican fighters. My guys, I can't do it. It's just a bad track record. But go ahead, brother.
And that's what I was gonna say. Eddie Hearn is not the matchmaker that Frank Warren is. Like it's a glaring difference. You know what I'm saying? I think at times he even signs fighters for like the only reason he signs certain fighters is to keep them away from his other fighters that he hold in high regards. Like I feel like that's the case with Demetrius Andrade and Usyk. Like, you know, you see he trying to push Usyk to the side, even though Usyk is the mandatory. You know what I'm saying? Andrade was supposed to go undisputed with Canelo, and you know what I'm saying? It's like he kept him away from all the other middleweights that he had on the zone. So it's crazy. And I understand what he was trying to do with the Josh Warrington thing. I think he was like, okay, we could do the rematch later. How about you drop your belt? Kid Galahad is the mandatory for the belt, so he fight the next contender for that belt. You go another route since you don't want to fight him. You know what I'm saying? Go get that WBA regular, and then hopefully Leo Santa Cruz drops his WBA super, and you will just get elevated. So now you got Kid Galahad and you got Josh Warrington as champion, but that obviously didn't work out. But I will say this too: I don't blame Josh Warrington for dropping that belt and not giving us a Kid Galahad rematch, because I'd rather pluck both of my eyes out than watch them two fight again. I swear to God.
The only thing that's wrong with what you're saying is, I think Eddie Kid Galahad out of contract, and you got Adam Smith talking about him for drug tests and that. They've sabotaged Galahad for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's out of order what they're doing.
Free agent now.
Yeah, I'm not.
So like what they're doing to him is bad. Like that's one of the worst things out of all things that Matchroom have done that are bad. The way that they've treated Kid Galahad is bad.
But it didn't.
Josh Warrington, never been a fan, and I don't. Kel Brook was bad, but I think
look at Eddie who treated Kel Brook. Look how he treated Kel Brook. But you know what? Hold
on a minute, EJ. There's two things with that. First of all, with the Golovkin fight, I think Kel Brook.
No, not the Golovkin fight. Not the Golovkin fight. Not the Golovkin fight.
I'm going to address both.
Yo, man, I'm trying to help you out. I'm talking about the Crawford fight, bro. How he treated him in Crawford.
Yeah, you are. But I was going to address both issues.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about.
I know you're talking about the Crawford fight.
Okay, go ahead.
I know. So the Golovkin fight, I think Kel Brook was obsessed with trying to do Amir Khan, because it was after Amir Khan stuff like Canelo. When it comes to the Crawford fight, they ditched Eddie Hearn to make the fight. They got rid of Eddie, and then they went back and put this on Sky, and Sky said no. But Kel Brook cut Eddie Hearn out of the process trying to make more money. So if you go and cut out the man that's feeding you, you can't expect him to be like saying things about you.
Yeah, but he did him a favor. See, the thing is, from his point of view, right? He did him a favor and lost his O. He lost his O up there he wasn't even looking at bloody Triple G, and he helped him out, right? So now he's trying to get a payday. Why is he blocking him? He could have let the fight go up on Sky, but he didn't even need to. He contacted Barney Francis and tried to get negotiation. Now, and that never happened. Let's talk about Frank Warren. Frank Warren ain't no good either. So I'm gonna tell you that right now, yeah. And I'm just gonna call it how it is. Frank Warren messed up Yard, yeah. Should have never been fighting Sergio Kovalev. I don't care if he was old, because that's the only reason why they went up there. What did Yard do in any of them opponents, them stiffs he fought to get a shot at Sergio Kovalev? Nothing. Frank Warren's got numbers. He knows WBO. They moved him up in the ranking, but Yard never done anything or for anyone to get him ready. Usually what happens in them situations, you fight a former world champion. He never did that. Tunde can tell you what he wants to tell you, give you all the speeches, but he never had nothing.
Frank,
one minute. I'm not even going to go back. I'll have to put you backstage now. Let me finish what I'm saying, right? They don't have, usually in them situations, you fight former world champions before you get your shot at a world title. That's what normally happens, right? Frank Warren is trying to compete against Eddie Hearn, and he's old. And he's old. Everyone knows Fish Eyes is old, and he's trying to compete. In the process, Yard went in there. This is how much it was. He only had one round, bruh. One round where he wobbled Sergio Kovalev. He took a lot of beating, jabs in his nose. He was there, but I only gave him that one round. Now he comes back domestically. Lyndon Arthur, Pat Barrett, Lyndon Arthur. This guy, Lyndon Arthur, no one even knew too much about. And then a fight that he spoke, but he still messed up from what happened to him, Sergio Kovalev. They got their strategy wrong. And Lyndon's the guy now, and which is good for boxing because Lyndon deserves it, right? Let's talk about the other mistake he's made. Daniel Dubois, Joe Joyce. You tell me, yeah, or anyone, What does he deserve to fight? What in any of all of his fights, resume says he's gonna beat Joe Joyce. Who's he beat to say he's gonna get ready for Joe Joyce? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. When Joe Joyce is fighting Brian Jennings, let me finish what I'm saying. You can go after, right? Brian Jennings, Bermain Stavern, former world champion. Brian Jennings, world champ. He's one of the rare guys who took Klitschko the distance. It's good form. It's very good form. All right. And what's the game you're gonna get ready? So he's got both of them. He puts
Ian Lewis in his domestic debut as well. He fought Ian Lewis and was good on domestic level. So you gotta give him credit for that as well.
No. But what I'm saying is that Daniel Dubois had no right getting in the ring with Joe Joyce, and what he's doing, he's trying to compete with Eddie. He really wanted Joe Joyce to win the fight, but end of the day, he put him in there. You know, he was backing Joe Joyce, right? Everyone had him.
You mean Daniel Dubois? Yeah, he wanted Daniel
Dubois. Yeah, he's backing him. Yeah, but now because of the gangsters have come into it, everything's in question. Everything's in question. Did you know that Sam Jones is backed by MT Global? Did you know that? I think no one knew that. No,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's back. Yeah, he's backed by MT Global. Go ahead. He's dying.
You don't know the answer. You'll know the answer. You'll know the answer to this because I think this is part of the problem with Frank Warren. Who used to do the matchmaking for Frank Warren because he's left now?
Dean
Frank Warren never used to do the making himself. Yeah, since Dean Powell's left.
Yeah.
His matchmaking's has gone off. Like Frank's matchmaking's been no good since Dean left. And I think that you're totally right in saying about the preparation for those two guys. I was on multiple lives with Beat saying that Daniel Dubois is going to get beat because he hasn't fought anybody. I've said it on this live that he's asking for trouble.
Yeah, of course. But listen to this. Let me tell you. Of course.
You need the right fight to bring you along. And
but listen. But listen to this.
Amateur pedigree.
But listen to this. I get exactly amateur career, exactly. But listen to this. Because the gangsters come into the situation and Sam Jones is with them and he's got Joe Joyce backing them, everything's in question. Did you know that Michelle Joy Phelps is backed by MTK as well? Did you know that? We know that Coogan is. Like their reach is far and wide. I didn't even know this. I only found out this things this recently. I was like, yo, that makes sense now. So I'm not saying it was a fix, but I'm just saying I'm not rule it out. And you can only rule it out when you prove that it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that with MTK around, a Spencer Furious called my man the what's he call him? The Messiah of boxing, innit? I don't know if you've seen that video, brother. Michelle Joy Phelps.
The only thing that I'm gonna say against what you're saying there is Daniel was up on the scorecard, and Daniel shouldn't have been up on the scorecard. What's that about? Look, I don't think that was really in favour of Joe Joyce.
What about Andy Yard though? Andy Yard was up on the scorecard again. Andy Yard, Tunde and them lot, they fought. He was up on the scorecard. Was it a split decision that fight? It shouldn't even been. It was so wide. It looked like one decision.
It's a split decision. It's a split decision, but I think that's more about delusion and gas because the level of activity that he put in wasn't enough to win the fight. And actually, and Anthony Yard's actually come back out since and reneged on statements. And I'll give him credit for that.
UK boxing.
Lyndon should have won. Lyndon should have won that fight. And did you hear Bugsy's bars about it? That's what I want to know. Did you hear the bars? Bugsy dropped some bars on Anthony Yard after that.
Yeah.
Did you know that Bugsy fought at Moscow Collyhurst?
Yeah. Bugsy Malone, made a
fought at Collyhurst, didn't he?
Oh, amateur club.
He fought at that gym, didn't he?
Okay, I don't know.
He fought at Moscow Collyhurst.
Yeah, but I didn't know about Bugsy Malone.
Yeah. Bugsy was actually okay, and like I think he's the same weight class as him.
Okay. Well, listen,
they grew up together.
Right. Yeah, most guys don't know Bugsy Malone, so that's why. Yeah, but go ahead, Dan. You want to say something? Go ahead, Dan.
I was gonna ask you, ain't Liam Williams with MTK Global?
Who's that? What's his name?
Liam Williams.
I'm not too sure. Is he? I'm not too sure.
I'm pretty sure he is. I just wanted to ask y'all to make sure, but I'm pretty sure he is. So I'm just saying, I don't think it's looking good for Demetrius Andre. Because the way you talked about the Joyce fight, you say you're not gonna rule out it being fixed by the gangsters. Like Liam Williams gonna beat the crap out of Andre if that's the case, you know. And Liam Williams got all of this power out of nowhere. Like I'm just trying to put 2 and 2 together, and it's not looking good for Andre.
I don't trust nothing when this whole thing going on. When UK boxing is been tainted by pure corruption, bro. Like the judges, the gangsters, I don't know where this stuff has come from. It's just landed on our lap, yeah, and we're gonna have to deal with it. Yeah, we have to deal with it. You know, we talk about it, but you know, I don't even know what to say about who just. Oh, my man, what's his name? TBE's gone. Shout out to him. He come over, but look, end of the day, we have to sort the bullshit out and tell it how it is. Spencer's come out, and Spencer's back. My man. Back that guy to the fullest and said this guy is a good guy and he's good for boxing. He's the messiah of boxing. Check it out on me. Huh?
Who said that?
Spencer. Yeah, Spencer. Yeah, he said that my man is the messiah of boxing. That's who he is. That's what he said.
He a shady character. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's what I don't see. At this point, I don't even know what to say. Spencer, you know, and this is where we are at the minute. British boxing is in a loop. If I was Anthony Joshua, and I don't know if you guys agree with this, if I was Anthony Joshua, I would not take the Fury fight because
I 100% agree. I've been thinking that ever since that documentary came out.
You're taking that too far.
You think so?
I think you're taking that too far.
Why would you say that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I had 2 reasons.
Yeah.
Right, first of all, that Joe Joyce was down on the scorecard against Daniel Dubois. Yeah? He was down on the scorecard. That's one of the reasons that Daniel got so much heat for taking a knee.
No.
Because if he'd have carried on, he
would have won the fight. Can I say something real quickly, EJ? If you want to bring that up, John, is that your name? The fact is that Joe Joyce wasn't supposed to win that fight. That's the reason why Dubois was up on the scorecard.
But what EJ is saying is Sam Jones, is part of MTK, and that their reach is so far-reaching that they can rig the fight in Fury's favor.
Yeah.
How come they couldn't do that for Joe Joyce then?
No, listen.
They didn't do it for Joe. Joe won that square. You don't bust up a man's eye like that.
No, you can't say that because that was the unofficial. That was the unofficial scorecard. No. That was the unofficial scorecard.
Hold on. I'll put yourself in mute so we don't have no yelling to come. This is why I say it was fixed. Daniel Dubois, what in boxing, everyone knows how to parry, everyone knows how to slip jabs. My man walked into shots the whole night long. And then coming in the 9th round, he took a knee all of a sudden. Now look at that in light of what we know, right? I'll mute you in a minute. On mic you in a minute, John Dilly, right? In light of what we know about these guys, this guy walked out like a robot and got hit in his face for like 9 rounds and then took a knee. And like looking around, he goes, look, now it's time for you to go down. Like in light of what we know about these people, why would you know what I'm trying to say to you, bro? And it wasn't that Joe just and they had him up on the scorecard so that no one would question it. That's what they did. They said, look, put him up on the scorecards, you go down in 9th round and we can make a lot of money. That's because he was a massive favorite, you know. He was a massive favorite. Now, going into the AJ in this fight, these people have got a stronghold. I'm just saying that there could be some coercion going on. Go ahead, John Dilly. I'll mute you. Go ahead.
Wait. So was he actually up on the real scorecards?
Yeah, he was up on the scorecards. Yeah.
I thought it was just an official he was up on. My bad.
He was. No, they released him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, John.
And if that fight was a straightforward fight, I don't have anything against Daniel finishing the fight. I think Barry should have thrown the towel in. That's what I think. But if you're going to tell me that they can rig fights like that, and you're going to tell me that Ali's 2 wins over Sonny Liston couldn't be rigged, then we got a problem. Because those were real gangsters controlling Sonny Liston. And what a lot of people don't know, is they got the right to promote Ali's fight. When they signed him to Liston, Yeah, they got the right to promote Ali at the same time for the first fight. Yeah. So you better keep the same for both of them, because I've heard you a lot of times calling Sonny this quick.
Which mobsters? Yeah? But we're talking about this one's a cartels, man. These are what they doing arms and drugs and
the big ones like Pinky, the big ones that
I think the mob.
Have you not seen him being interviewed? Have you not seen him being interviewed?
No. Hold on. Pinky, I don't think there was involved.
Palermo.
Yeah, I know he's.
Yeah, controlled Sonny Liston, and Sonny Liston got caught.
Yeah, but I know he's. What I'm saying is that
Hoover had a file. Hoover had a file on that, man.
Yeah, listen. We're not gonna have to go that far. What I'm saying is that go that far. Whether you think that case that is up debatable. That's what people talk about the phantom punch, right? But what we do know is this. Right, in light of what we know about these people in boxing, because you guys in America, have you seen the documentary Brotherhood? Have you seen the documentary, Dan the man?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
All right, now I want to hear the Americans' take. What did you think about the documentary? Did it change your perception of UK boxing any?
Well, I mean, it didn't really, in a sense, because I'm not oblivious to this. I'm not naive. All right, corruption is everywhere, but to this level, we thought that it would not be to the level where the mob is still controlling the shit. You know what I mean? If this was the 1950s or the 40s, I could understand that, because the mob had a stranglehold on boxing during around that time. And then when all the sanctioned bodies came in, they kind of squeezed the mob out so they could take control. You see what I'm saying? But now it's like we had no idea this was going on behind the scenes in the shadows with Killahan. Killahan is running everything behind the scenes as a shadowy figure. You know, people are trying to somewhat compare him to Al Heyman, but Al Heyman, come on, man, that's not a fair comparison. Al Heyman is not wanted in 3 other countries for murder, racketeering, money laundering charges, and shit like that. That's way too deep. That's like 3 federal governments or 3 state governments are after one individual for all these serious crimes and allegations. You know what I mean? And also the fact that he's somehow involved in fixing fights. So you put that icing on the cake. So this is serious stuff right here, man. And to me, it makes me wonder, the stories coming out that AJ and Fury are allegedly going to make $100 million a piece for the fight. And it makes you wonder, where's this money coming from? We're in the middle of a pandemic while all the other promoters, including PBC, which is a managing outfit, they're struggling right now. How is it that NTK Global is accelerating in the middle of a pandemic while these other companies are not? You know what I mean? So it just kind of makes me wonder, there's a lot of shadiness going on, man, behind the scenes, particularly in the UK front. So, again, I'm not saying the shadiness doesn't happen in the UK, but it just becomes more, it just brought things further into light how bad it is. So it needs to be weeded out. That's just my opinion.
Hey, well, I'm the so-called conspiracy theorist of the boxing community, so you gotta hear me out. I don't think the mob stuff ever stopped in boxing. I think it just got converted, I should say. I think they hid the way they fix these fights in different ways. Like, I feel like Mauricio Suleiman is shady. I think he got more power than a lot of people know. I think with this Daniel Kinahan, that's more evidence of the same thing. I think these commissions are they're not trustworthy. The same commission, like Nevada Athletic Commission, that was siding with what's his name, Margarito, with his loaded gloves, is the same commission that was involved in Fury versus Wilder 2. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the coincidence is that crazy. So I don't think this stuff ever stopped, really. I'm just leave it at that. And I want to know how y'all think, like, looking at it this way. Canelo, the third fight on his 3-fight deal is a MTK fighter, right? Billy Joe Sanders. How do y'all think that's gonna play out?
I'll let John Dilly jump in on the documentary and what do you think about that fight? Go ahead, John Dilly.
Hey, before you guys do that, I got to get out of here, man. Good talking to y'all.
Nice one, Dan. Take care, bro. Peace out.
All right, peace out, y'all. Take it. All right, peace.
So specifically, we want me to talk about EJ.
No, he's asking you about the Billy Joe Saunders fight with Canelo. That's apparently going to happen. In regards to MTK.
Yeah, I mean, it's to be seen to me. Yeah, I know I think Kinahan probably is what the documentary portrayed him to be, because he's run off to a country where there's no extradition treaty with Ireland. So whilst nobody's ever convicted him of anything, why has he gone off there and not faced the charges against him? That's suspicious. He's claiming that the court is rigged, that they just believe police officers. But that's the same as every court. If you look at the UK, the testimony from a police officer is like an ordinary witness. It's got extra weight. It's always the case. Any court in the world, that's the case. So I think he is a gangster, but I don't think he's the only one out there. It's yet to be seen how far-reaching his power really is. If you're going to talk about the money for AJ Fury being 100 million, where's that coming from? Yeah. The site fee they gave him to fight Andy Ruiz reportedly was $100 million site fee. AJ got like 85 and Ruiz got about 13. So if the fight is in Saudi, that's got nothing to do with MTK as far as I know. They're based in Dubai. That's that one. As for Billy Joe and Canelo, if there's a dodgy decision in Billy Joe Saunders' favour, that would be an indication to me that actually, yeah, the Keenan have to rig fights, because they've been associated with Billy Joe right from when Billy Joe won his first fight against Lee, haven't they? Like, of all the fighters they've had a long association with, Billy Joe Saunders is one of them. And also, I don't think it's a coincidence that Matthew Macklin is so closely connected with MTK, because you probably don't know this, but a lot of the big drug dealers in Birmingham that have been busted, I've got Irish heritage and connecting back to the Keenan, but they've all been connected to the cartel with his dad, not with Daniel, with like Christy Senior. Like there's quite a few of them. So my point is, they're not the only money in boxing, so we'll see what happens.
Hey, I don't think
it's far reaching. I just think it is EJ.
Okay.
I was just gonna say real quick, I don't think the fight being in Saudi. I don't think the fight being in Saudi Arabia necessarily means he couldn't be involved, because he's always been working in other countries anyway. Like Kinahan got problems in America as well, which I've seen. I've looked up articles and stuff about him like laundering over here, and he can't come back here either. So you know what I'm saying? Maybe he's just hopping all over the place doing what he got to do. So
yeah, maybe he's
innocent.
No,
he's based in Dubai. No, I don't think he's innocent, EJ. But
I finished what I said. No, I'm trying to say to you, in terms of like some of the stuff that I don't know what they're charging him for exactly. Like, are they talking about, because there's other stuff, it's not related to boxing, right? And some of the stuff they're charging him or whatever. It's
all related to his dad's.
Yeah, he's not boxing related.
Convicted heroin trafficker. His dad's a convicted heroin trafficker. Now, where it comes into play with boxing is the money laundering. Because the allegations are that MTK is a front for all the drug cartels to launder their money. That's why they can give Frampton free managerial.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that they've got enough to rig the fights. That doesn't mean they have enough to rig the fight.
Well, what is the thing, right? When it comes to these things,
you get what I'm saying? I'm not saying.
No, I got you. But what I'm saying, when it comes to these things, no one ruling out. Another thing as well. Anyway, you know what? I'm gonna leave it as that, because end of the day, some of the stuff that I'm not too aware of. What you put in the thing? Oh, you put the newspaper in the chat. All right, let's move on. Look, end of the day, I've been here for a minute. Wilder's come out, our king has come out. So I say their king or who's king or his king has come out on Instagram. That's what we came here to talk about. And Deontay Wilder, he hasn't really cleaned anything up. He hasn't said what date. He hasn't said it gave us a date of when he's fighting. He hasn't told us what trainer he's going to be fighting. And he hasn't cleared up on some of the things, allegations he's done. So on that, where I'm going to leave it and we can wrap up on that. Brotherhood, you anything you want to say to the people and your last words? Go ahead.
I just, before I get out of here, I do want to see how y'all think that Saunders fight play out. You ain't gotta like go long on the topic or anything. I just want to see, like, with all of this stuff being relevant about MTK, do y'all think they might be trying to get over on Canelo on his last fight of his deal and push him away? Because he has really no business outside of, he has no business with the zone after this Billy Joe fight. He would have to go to PBC anyway. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. In my opinion, I'll go first. Did he go after? I hope not, because I know he's in Guadalajara in Mexico, and they got their own people down there. So it is a middle ground there. But I initially, when that fight happened, I think Billy Joe will win. I like people who can move and box. Barring that, obviously, no interference from anyone outside in the boxing or fixes or whatever. I think Billy Joe will beat him anyway, because Billy Joe moves, and Canelo, you see, he struggles against guy. He needs guys to be in front of him, like Callum Smith, so he can break their blood vessels in their arms and stuff like that. And Billy won't be there. So if Billy becomes that, but the only thing I worry about Billy is his stamina late in rounds. But he doesn't really hit that hard, but he can box and make Canelo look stilly. Canelo had knee braces on his legs to get Triple G in their was it a second fight, or did they have 3 fights? They had 3 fights or 2 fights? How many fights? 2 in it? Yeah, 2. Yeah, like in that fight. So I like Billy Joe Saunders in that fight, barring no interference. John Dilly, go on. John Dilly.
Yeah. I've always got question marks with Billy about his dedication, not his ability. Like, he's always blowing up and down in weight. And the only time I've really seen him perform is against Lemieux. And then he went and got popped after that. And he was in the gym when he fought Lemieux. What's that nasal spray that they give you? It's specific for stamina and helping cut weight. And I haven't seen Billy perform well at 168. I haven't seen him perform well at 168 at all. And I think he's not really big enough at that weight. He's there because he doesn't want to put the work in, and he doesn't want to live the life and diet. So he's got the ability to give anybody a fight on his day. But what we have seen with Canelo in the past is, whilst he struggles with movers, unless your name's Floyd Mayweather, you won't get the scorecards. So Billy might get the moral victory, but I don't think he's going to win on points, because I haven't seen anybody get favour from the judges when it comes down to that. And I don't think the Keenahans have got enough money to override the type of money that Canelo has backing him either.
All right. Well, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. If Liam Williams and Billy Joe Saunders happen to win over Andre and Canelo, then I think y'all know what's up. So I'm gonna leave it at that. But it was good to hear from Wilder, and hopefully he got a fight soon. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm done with Fury, bro. I'm just looking past him. I don't think Wilder's some type of liar. I believe he coming up with everything he's coming out with about Breland and Fury and everything, because maybe he not spot on, but I don't think he's sitting here being a liar either. Maybe he might be off target, or he's just still trying to figure out what's going on. But I believe in him. I don't think he would take it that far if it wasn't something shady going on. So I'll leave it at that. Thanks for having me on, fam.
You're welcome, man. John Dilly, you're welcome, Brotherhood, man. Make sure you guys go sub over to the Brotherhood's channels, man. Great channel. John Dilly, last words. Go ahead.
To be honest, I'm just disappointed that Wilder didn't push to do the rematch sooner. He could have had it last year. I think that's what he should have done. When he lost to Fury, I was like on a lot of people's channels, it's out there, and you saying that I was quite happy for Wilder to get his rematch. I think the champion's entitled to have his rematch. But I don't understand why he disappeared for so long. And they've let it get to this point. Because it could have been and gone. And it wouldn't have interfered with there being an undisputed title fight here. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. So that's my last words on Wilder. I don't know what's up with it at the moment, but it doesn't look good.
All right. What's your last word in, Jonah? What's your last word, bro? Anyway, where they gonna find you, bro?
I'll just float about on other people. I don't contact. All
right, man. You find your
my last word. Subscribe to EJ.
All right, John Dilly, nice one, bro. Thanks for coming over. Appreciate it, bro. We're gonna finish the broadcast. Big shout out to TBE coming over, Dan the Man coming over, and all the other guys that came over to the channel. I really appreciate it. Red October, everyone in the chat, you know what I'm saying? Really appreciate it, you know, help the channel, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys press the like button. You know, that will help me out. Appreciate it. And it was a good topic, man. You know, Wilder was on Instagram. He didn't really highlight anything. You have to go back to the stuff on the archive. But it was a good debate after Wilder's live stream. And if you ain't seen Tyson Fury, I'll play a little clip, and then after that, I'm gonna sign out so you get a look at Tyson Fury. Have a look at him.
All right, that was good. There you go. Good, George, good. Good, George. Oh, last one. Come on, suck it up. Come on, suck it up. One more, even. There you go, George. Now we're talking. Oh, yeah. Keep it out there, George. Yeah, oh, it pushed you back at the last one. That's what I was talking about. Let's go, Big George. There you go.
So that's Tyson Fury. I don't know what's going on. I'd like to see that third fight, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, thanks very much, man. Gordon, really appreciate you coming over, and the rest of the guys in the chat. If you ain't sub already, I'm drained out now, man. Hope it was entertaining. Everyone, good contribution from everyone in the live chat. And everyone, appreciate it. You have a great evening, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.